Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Hollywood After Dark, episode number 68. Shang-Chi, the biggest of the big, the summer winner, and the Russo Bros having a fight with Disney, and also Hollywood After Dark, where you come to not only get your sensual movie news, but you also come to come. That's right, let's get it on. Hey everyone, how you guys doing tonight? Welcome back to the show. I know I said I'm taking tonight off, I'm taking Friday off. I keep saying it, but movie news happens and I have to be there to talk about it because it's a holiday weekend and Sunday's probably going to be dead. So I thought, you know what, enough going on today. I'll be able to dive in, talk for a little while, get to know your guys' thoughts, your guys' opinions, make some jokes and shit, as well as having just a grand old time in general. But before we do all the deep diving tonight, I do want to give a quick shout out to my channel membies. To my membies, you guys are fantastic. You guys keep the channel afloat. The show is doing wonderful in the VOD. You guys are a big reason why that's a reality. So thank you all very much for that. I really appreciate it. Of course, if you guys want to get in on the giveaway for September, we are giving away Drunken Master 2, the original badass Jackie Chan epic. It's a great movie. It's an awesome film. Giving that away this month. You want to get in on that, become a channel member, drop a super chat, or become a channel patron over here at patreon.com/MattJar. But it is probably the best way to help out because YouTube takes 30%, which is god awful. Also, Miss Minute says, like the fucking video, like the goddamn stream. She'll cap a bitch. She's got no problem with that. But of course, to go over all of the day's news, all of the day's events, let me bring in my co-host for tonight, Resident Justice RJ. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, what up, man?
Not too much, just chilling.
Yeah, I just got back from seeing Shang-Chi about an hour and a half ago, so riding off that high.
Nice, man, nice. I actually was watching some reviews of it today, and I normally don't watch a lot of reviews, just to be fair. Like, I just don't really. But I was watching other people's reviews who I thought would hate the movie, and they liked it a lot. And then I'm like, all right, cool. Like, it kind of got me hyped up to watch it again. And I'm like asking, like, yeah, do I want to pay for it? Or do I just want to wait for Disney Plus and then watch it then? Because that's only like 6 weeks. That ain't a long time. When you got kids, man, you blink and that shit happens.
True.
So I'm not too sure, but I was telling my dad about it today, and he wants to see it. So it's like, all right, maybe I'll hit him up.
Yeah, no, it was it was really interesting because my theater was pretty much almost as full as when Black Widow came out, but unlike Black Widow, when this movie ended, they actually applauded it. So you know.
Yeah, I haven't been in a theater that applauded anything since Endgame, but I live in a smaller town, so you're not going to get a lot of that here. But I went up and saw it outside of Seattle with Mr. Repsion when that thing came out in 2019, and that theater was like, oh my god, like the intensity was so palpable. You could like literally cut it with a knife. Everyone was on the edge of their seats, and everyone was waiting for the Avengers Assemble line that we all knew was coming, and then we all could finally come. So that, of course, is the reality of Marvel movies, that even though they're 24 films in a multitude of series at this point, they know how to rock it, and they know how to do something different.
Yeah, and by the way, so much for lowest MCU opening and being a flop.
Oh, I know. It's going to flop, you guys. Oh my god, it's going to flop. It's going to be, yeah, whatever at this point. It's such a ridiculous thing to sit there. I'll tell you this, though. There's a little bit of schadenfreude that I'm going to take out of the situation, because to me, it's hysterical that the people that spend all their time and energy that are saying, like, oh, this movie's going to tank. It's like, what they're going to do is they're going to wait for the second week, because they can't attack it this week. So they're going to say it dropped 60-70% in week 2,
which is normal though for blockbusters.
It's normal for the pandemic, especially. So
yeah, I don't know though, because the audience ratings are like so high on this movie, and I feel like the word of mouth's only going to get out there. I think I could see a strong second and third weekend hold. It will depend.
Well, not much is coming out until next month. I don't think. I don't even know what else is coming out this month.
Literally nothing else is coming out the rest of the month.
Okay.
Honestly, like the rest of the month's dead for the most part. I mean, there's a couple things some people might be interested in, but like the smaller movies, no big blockbusters from what I saw. Unless something coming out that I'm unaware of, because the next big movie is No Time to Die on October 8th. So
yeah, that one I will probably go see that one in IMAX. I'll spend the money to see that one in IMAX.
Because I saw Shang-Chi tonight in IMAX. They showed the IMAX version of that trailer. Ooh, it looked good.
See, that's really the thing, though. That's because the way that they shot it is the cinematography is really why I like IMAX. Is the cinematography, the special effects, or the visual effects, like that works for me as well. But I saw Logan in IMAX, and that was amazing because like the 12,000 amp sound, or 12,000 watt sound system is fantastic. I mean, these are mostly like most of the IMAXs today are like Limax. You know, they're just converted IMAX, theaters, you know, so it's like, unless you get something with like true stadium seating, you're generally not getting that. But again, the sound quality is there, which is really what sells you on it. And so I'm like, yeah, I want to see No Time to Die. I don't want to go see it alone because that's an experience I want to have with somebody. So I might have to call up Repsion or one of my other friends and be like, hey, you want to go and see this in IMAX and shit? We'll meet up somewhere and go check it out. Because I think Bond is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to just finish up this, you know, because it's been a year and a half. So
it's been delayed so many times. I just want to watch it. Yeah.
I just want to see it. I feel like the kids at the end of American Pie. You know, it's like, just get us to the point. just get it over with.
And that's what people in the chat were asking. No, they did not show an exclusive, like a IMAX version of the No Way Home trailer. What they did show, though, interesting enough, the first trailer was this really depressing movie called Dear Evan Hansen about like this guy who has no friends, befriending some guy who committed suicide. I'm like, what the hell?
I saw that trailer too. And I was like, because I heard about the movie, but I honestly thought that it was like a sequel to like, or like a version of like Love Victor on Hulu.
That's what I thought too. I thought it was Love Victor.
Because it starts off and the guy's like, Dear Evan Hansen, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna say he wants to suck his dick. You know, like cool. And he signs the guy's cast. I'm like, oh, they're gonna fall in love. It's gonna be so cute. And then like the guy is, you know, got a lot of problems. The Evan Hansen guy, so he writes all these notes to himself. It's like a psychological trick, and like you know, writing in the third person basically. And this guy named Connor steals one of the notes, and that's the guy who signed his cast. And he's another outcast like Evan, but just kind of like more on the extreme side. Well, that dude kills himself, but his parents find the note, and they thought that he had written a note to Evan Hansen. So they were like, oh, you guys were friends. And then he's kind of caught in this lie. And then, you know, so it's meant to be an inspirational story.
But it's also a musical, which is like,
yeah, it's a play. It's a play. Yeah. And the guy who's starring in it, the Evan Hansen guy, I believe he wrote the play.
Oh, okay.
So this is an adaptation. It looks good. I will fully admit I want to see it, but it's not what I'm going to rush out to go see in theaters. Like, I'll wait for it to go to streaming.
I'll wait for streaming.
But there's another movie though that it reminds me of, and it's actually an older Robin Williams movie called World's Best Dad or World's Greatest Dad. And so it's got Robin Williams and like Daryl Sabara, who was like the younger son in Spy Kids. And so Robin Williams plays a failed writer who's now an English teacher. His son is just a piece of shit. His son accidentally dies via autoerotic asphyxiation. And then people were asking if there was if there was a suicide note. And so because Robin Williams didn't want his son to be known as a kid who died jerking himself off while hanging himself, that he writes this suicide note. But the suicide note is so well received for its beauty, its poetry, its rhythm, its prose, that they end up loving it and they want more of this kid's writings. So Robin Williams ends up basically becoming like the ghostwriter for his dead son, and uses his dead son's popularity in that moment in order to push his book out there. And it's a Bobcat Goldthwait movie. If you don't know who Bobcat Goldthwait is, you got to look up, like, watch anything with Bobcat Goldthwait. It is a dementedly twisted movie. It's hysterical. Yeah, it's old. It's Robin Williams.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that for sure. But the one trailer they did show that was brand new, kind of, they showed an exclusive IMAX version of the Venom 2 trailer. And this is not something I saw anyone talking about, but it was just basically the same trailer as trailer 2, but they added like a few different scenes. that looked really cool. I mean, I don't know if you want me to describe them or just like,
I mean, like everyone here is probably going to go see Venom 2.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I mean, it's like, if Sony, well, I think after the success of Shang-Chi, Sony is not going to move it.
No, I mean, I might want them to move it like another week or have Halloween Kills move to the next week because, well, I don't know though, because doesn't Dune come out October 22nd? So I don't know what the hell they're going to do.
Yeah, no, October is a very packed month, but I don't think they're expecting a lot of money for Dune.
Yeah, which is a shame.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening, especially after today, which we'll talk about that down the road.
Yeah, Venom 2, that trailer was pretty impressive. I liked some of the scenes they showed. It was mostly focusing on more of the outside of like the symbiote scenes between Cleese Cassidy and Eddie Brock, generally setting up that repertoire and that relationship between the two, that budding rivalry, which I liked.
Can I just say though, when it comes to the Venom 2 trailer, I really dislike the opening scene where like he's making food and singing. It feels like exceptionally forced.
There was a different opening scene then.
Okay, because like I never really cared. It was a comedic
one, but it was like Venom kind of punching Brock in the face and be like, "I'll fix your nose, but then I want to punch you again."
Oh, okay, that would make some sense. Yeah. I just thought that it was like kind of like, all right. Like, like what is it, like tomato, habanero, cubano. I don't know what he's saying. It's just like, all right. And then I'm like, get to the funny stuff. I'm like, get to the funny stuff. You guys do it.
Yeah, man, maybe it speaks to the director change, or maybe Andy Serkis isn't as confident or as expertise in comedic directing, Well,
Ruben Fleischer is good at like the dark humor. And I don't know if Andy Serkis can, I think he could probably tackle dark pretty well, but dark humor. Now, according to who was it? I think it was Tom Hardy himself. He had said that Sony was really happy with how the movie turned out. Like the studio is really happy with it. So I'm like, all right, like, if I get that if that's what he's saying, like, all right, cool. Maybe we're going to get something pretty good out of this. Maybe we're going to get something that is just going to end up really kind of taking everyone by surprise. And that's honestly, God, what I hope. I hope that we're going to get a fair amount of that because I am excited for Venom 2. I did very much like Venom, and I want to see how it ties into the larger Venom verse or Sony's Spider-Man universe, whatever they're calling it. And I just want to see how the whole thing's going to play out. So with any luck, it will be pretty good. But that's only a couple weeks away. So we're going to be...
Yeah. And I think after this weekend, I don't think they're going to be moving any. I mean, they still could move some movies overall, but I think some stuff's going to stick to their dates, to be honest.
I think there's a fair amount of I think right now we're seeing a few things that are going to end up like keeping things happening. Cause I think with Shang-Chi, I think with Shang-Chi, people are going to really go for that one. As a real quick side note here, I just wanted to quickly touch upon one thing. For those of you who are channel members, as you can see in the pinned comment, I added new emotes. So you guys can, there's a Boss Baby emote. There is my face. There is the Hollywood After Dark HWAD as the Pornhub. And also channel member badges. So if you've been a badge holder for a while, if you have a membership here, you can see you'll get a little emote there. Yeah. Finally got around to adding those.
You also got a Chewbacca as well.
And Chewbacca, yeah. But I mean, yeah. That's, you can kind of see it. I have another version I'm working on that's going to be a little bit on the bigger side. But yeah, that's something for you guys to check out if you want to become a channel member. Again, the emotes are a lot of fun. We also got the AMBW channel. Says for $5, China #1, and please fart on stream. Gracias. Well, sir, I don't have to fart right now, so I think probably the best I could do would just be. There you go. How about that? All right, there you go.
It's like a goddamn elephant. What the hell?
I do that to my kid all the time. I'm all like, elephant. I'm all. She laughs. She's 3. She laughs at everything. That's how it works out. I know, Brad. He's gonna ask you to fart on stream. I fart, but you just don't hear it. This is a good microphone. I keep it. The thing. Where's the Poli emote or the Uniboulder? Not on this stream, Lord Slug. All right, like clearly not Poli. Clearly not Polly. I don't know if the polar, I don't know. Maybe I'll do the Boulder Talk one. That could be a thing. And then I did see a quick question here. Brandon asking, I still want a release date for Bob's Burgers movie. I don't know when that's happening. All I know,
that's been delayed too. They have like no release date for that.
But September 26th, so just 3 weeks and 3 weeks from now, or 4 weeks from now, you've got Bob's Burgers returns for season 12 on September 26th. That is coming.
It's already on season 12?
Season 12, man. Yeah. We rewatch it like all the time. So I've been watching that a lot. Like today I finished up Monsters at Work. I watched the season finale. And I really liked it. I like that show a lot. I love the Monsters universe.
Well, I was going to mention too. I saw on Twitter it was a pretty popular post where they lined up the season finale with the original ending for Monsters Inc. And it was like, wow, the attention to detail is really good.
I'm watching it right today, and it gets to that part, and then it's like, I'm like, I can quote it. I'm quoting it as they're saying it, and I'm like, oh. And then like it gets to the part with the magazine. I'm like, oh, are we going to see the magazine? Like I thought for a second, I thought that it was like a different ending. Like they actually are going to have Mike visible on the magazine. But then it dawned on me that it's the same exact ending. And I'm like, he's got the clipboard right there. And I'm like, oh, that's Boo's door. Like Boo's door's right there, you know? And then of course, obviously the show's more about Tai than it is about Mike and Sully. But still, it's like but I went on Twitter and I said, oh, I just watched it. It was great. I really hope we get a season 2. I didn't know that this morning they confirmed season 2 of Monsters at Work.
Oh, they did?
They did. They confirmed season 2, which is great because I'm like, for one, we might actually get that. We might actually get more about Boo.
And they actually be like a sequel to the original movie now.
Yeah. And give us a bit more with that, which would be awesome. Cause they did bring back the Abominable, or now the Adorable Snowman. And so they closed out that storyline by giving us actually a really solid wrap up for that, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And they've continued the story well enough. And it's like, all right, cool, man. I'll tell you though, what's really sad is I also watched Doug Days, which is the 5 episodes of Doug the Dog from Up. And Ed Asner voiced Carl. He's back voicing Carl in it. Mm-hmm. And he just died last week.
I know, and it got released pretty much right after.
Yeah, well, it was already died. Yeah, right after he died, it came out, and so that was really sad. We actually watched all 5 episodes again tonight. They're short, they're very accessible, but they're fun. And I'm like, I really hope that they've recorded more lines. I'm pretty sure they would have recorded more lines. I'm hoping they would do more episodes than just those 5. It's like they're fun, but they're brief and they're very contained. So I would love to see them have done more with that. We don't quite know yet. It's going to be. We'll have to wait and see on that one, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see where they go. I like Pixar movies. I like the fact that Disney's expanding these.
Randall.
Yes. Season 2, bring back Randall. # bring back Randall. That would be awesome. Cause I think if Randall came back, Duncan would be like totally sucking up to Randall. And cause I think Duncan would go full on Dwight Schrute from The Office. Is what I think. Anyway, I love that. If you guys have seen whatever it's called, The Monsters at Work, it's a good show. Kenneth Crowley here asks a question. Quick question. Do you think Star Trek will ever return as a movie franchise? And do you consider Trek and movie or a movie or TV franchise? Well, Star Trek 4 has been confirmed with the original cast, at least in regards to the new Trek. JJ Trek, and with the exception, unfortunately, of Anton Yelchin. However, that's been confirmed. I forget who's directing it. If they've announced a director, I don't remember or not. I think that the show can exist in both worlds. Same with anything else. I do think that it would be better probably to like do a movie set in the Discovery era, because there's a lot of stuff that's being circulated around in that, and that's kind of the lore they're building over on Paramount Plus, which is something they need to bring eyeballs to. So
yeah, they gotta get some more eyes and then more attention.
Yeah. So I think like having that take place, but then again, they could maybe find a way to tie it together, like tie Discovery. I don't know. Discovery went like 1,000 years in the future. I think I haven't even watched it, but like no one I know is talking about it nicely. But then again, the people that
hate, yeah,
it's mostly hate. So, but those are the more vocal people. I don't know. I need to sit down and actually watch it. I do like Star Trek quite a bit. I'm more of a Star Wars guy, but
Yeah, I mean, I always think of Star Trek. When I think of Star Trek, I think of the television shows, but the movies are a critical component of its franchise identity as well. So,
See, like, yeah, the TV show stuff, but for me, I grew up watching the movies, and
mm-hmm.
and that's kind of weird because it's like TNG was a big thing when I was a kid, and then so were the movies, So it's like I was watching TNG while Star Trek: An Undiscovered Country came out, and and then you had like the end of TNG, but Voyager was on, and even DS9 had happened, but then they get into Star Trek Generations, and that came out what 96, I think. Or 90, no, maybe 98 is when Generations came out.
I don't remember, to be honest. I think it was 95, 96.
Yeah, so it's very they've kind of jumbled it. They've gone around with it, and I like it all. I do think they should have probably done Discovery movie. They should have or not Discovery, sorry, a Voyager movie. I think that would have been good to give us a movie set in that world. They tried, I think, a little bit with Nemesis. I think Nemesis was more tied into Voyager because of Seven of Nine's popularity at the time. And then, also DS9 would have been pretty decent for a movie. I think if they've done it, they did a shitload of Bab 5 movies, straight to home video movies. They could do DS9 stuff as well. So, so there's that one there. So what is this you're sending me here?
Oh, somebody was asking thoughts on the Miles Teller situation.
Oh my, this is like, look, this is, you've got to be like, we'll bring this up.
Yeah, and I just found in the article.
This is, I read about this earlier today.
Yeah, this is my first time hearing it. So.
Oh, okay. So yeah, let me find the right page here. So the Miles Teller situation is so stupid because it's so entitled, and I'm so tired of this shit. So, according to this, Miles Teller is not vaccinated. He wouldn't get the test, and now he's brought the virus to set, and the whole set had to shut down. They are working on a movie about The Godfather called The Offer.
Yeah, it's a series for Paramount.
It's a spin-off series. And so, look, here's the thing. What I hate about this is the fact that Miles Teller knows well the hell enough that this shit spreads. And all of his colleagues and all of his coworkers, look, when you're on set, if you act like that, if you act like Miles Teller, that is a fucking diva. Okay, that is a fucking
Tom
diva.
Cruise would be yelling at him.
And it would be justified, and it would be sexy. That's all I'm saying about that. I love that. That rant from Tom Cruise is fantastic. And I love that he was like, yeah. And when people tried giving him shit over it, he was like totally, like whatever with it. But that's the whole thing, though, is when you
here's the thing too, like, don't get the vaccine, fine, but at least get goddamn tested. I mean, come on, dude.
Get the vaccine.
Well, I know. Ideally, yes, but I'm just saying, like, just show respect for your fellow actors. Don't put them in dangerous situations.
It's not just the actors, though, RJ.
Oh no, I know production.
That's the thing.
Directors.
It's the crew. Because the actors have the ability to like go off stage. They have the ability to like go back to their trailer where they're isolated and they're away. They have the, they get special treatment. The crew is the ones that are out there working the 10 to 15 hour, if not more days. They're the ones building, getting the sets ready to go, getting all the lighting and the wiring and the rigging, doing the camera stuff, everything that needs to go into shooting this. And then the actors come out and they do their little bits and then they go back. Not all of them do. Some of them hang out. But really, it's like the actors and the crew are separated. So it's like those are the ones who they don't have. Oh, well, on a movie like that, they're all union. So they have healthcare and they have health coverage. But I worked on a whole bunch of stuff that was like absolutely non-union and in some cases dangerous. So, and for fucking literally table scraps compared to what these guys make, but still they have families. That they have friends, they have lives. You're putting them in jeopardy because you don't want to get the jab. I'm sorry. Either you fucking get it or you don't work because you are putting yourself and other people in danger. This is not about just you anymore. If he was an isolated Howard Hughes level hermit that was like growing his fingernails and storing his own piss in bottles, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care.
If it was a personal choice where it was just him in his own home, he wasn't filming anything, fine, whatever. But this is, again, as you put it, it is affecting other people, and it's not fair to that cast and crew that you're affecting their jobs and having their whole project shut down because you are basically being kind of scummy and thinking only of yourself,
Well, yeah. I mean, and there's been, there's been complaints about him being a diva. I've heard that before from different.
Just listen, all you need to do is just get J.K. Simmons down there and make him go full Whiplash mode on him.
That would be good. Square up. That would be good. I'd be okay with that. J.K. Simmons is jacked now. J.K. Simmons is straight jacked.
Yeah. He's
so big. They're just be like, you want to play, little boy? Don't you know who I am? I'm Commissioner Gordon, bitch.
He's gonna open up the Daily Bugle just to talk about Miles Teller.
Public. Oh, can we make that meme? Can we make that meme Public Enemy #1 Miles Teller?
Oh, like the No Way Home trailer? Or you Photoshop out Tom Spider-Man and put in Miles Teller's face?
Yeah.
Somebody do that, please.
But have the other half of Spider-Man's mask be a COVID, the COVID virus. I don't have proper Photoshop skills. I could make a really terrible version in like 2 seconds, but there we go on that one. Anyway, and you know what? At this point, fuck Miles Teller. If you're again, and fuck anyone who puts other people in jeopardy like that and only cares about themselves. Like all of our lives have shut down. All of our lives have shut down. We haven't seen family. We haven't been able to go to the movies, do things we like to do. We're just now getting back into the situation, getting back into the normalcy of things.
It's fucked up. I mean, just recently I got some family members that caught COVID. The shit's serious,
Yeah. I have, my sister wants to get married. She can't go and get, like she wants to go and have a venue. It's hard for her to do. She works in healthcare. Well, she's a chef at a retirement home. And she's like, we're shut down right now because somebody caught it and we're all kind of at home. And she's had that happen multiple times over the last year, which is crazy for her stress levels because of her job security. She's worried about her job security, like it's just like I go out and I go to public places. I get people's food. I take it to their fucking doors. I'm the middleman. So it's like, I put myself in danger literally to bring someone their fucking Jack in the Box. You know what? And you could leave a tip, Barbara. Sorry, that was annoying.
Listen, they wanted their chicken tendies.
Okay? 20 minutes, RJ. 20 minutes I'm waiting for their food and it's like $2 tip. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And I just like, it's not their fault. It's the restaurant's fault, but it's like, come on. That's the problem with like it doesn't increase with time. It's like, if we're waiting there, I don't know, maybe I'll get lucky and she'll kick in later. Tonight was slow though. So there's that. Anyway, I did want to move on and talk about something, get to the next story here, but I did want to address this $2 super chat from Matt1306 saying here, you hear about Merry Little Batman with 6-year-old Damien. I saw that on Twitter today.
Yeah.
I saw someone talking about that.
Cartoon Network holiday special.
No, I don't know. It's, let me see if I can find
I could have sworn it was like a holiday movie they're doing for Cartoon Network.
It's not necessarily that. Let me find movies that mar the Viking guy, the guy who created the Release a Snyder Cut hashtag. I can never remember his name, like what to actually call him. So, but he's a cool dude. He's a cool guy. He posted this on his Insta today. So let me just bring this up here. I don't quite know what's going on with it, but of course, as obvious, we'll figure it out as it goes. It says here, a new animated movie focused on Damian Wayne is in development for HBO Max.
Oh,
that's all he says about it. It's like, all right, that's cool. I mean, Damian Wayne in Justice League Apocalypse War was definitely, a fucking a nihilistic little bastard, wasn't he? He was.
Well, you gotta love the version in the Harley Quinn show too.
Oh God!
Voiced by Jacob Tremblay.
Yeah, I know. Voiced by fucking Luca. Voiced by fucking Luca. Anyway, Lord Sluck here says it's basically Home Alone. That's true.
Yeah, like a Christmas themed Batman animated movie with Damian Wayne. That could be cool.
Yeah, it's that could be something. Home Alone in the Batcave. There we go. That could be. Fuck it. That will be the thing we.
You know what though? Speaking of that, they should do an animated movie of Batman Noel, which is basically Batman: A Christmas Carol. It's fantastic. It's really, really good.
Well, give them ideas because clearly they are out of them. So I think at this point, it's kind of what we have to realize here. But But anyway, let's move on to the one thing that I made a short about today. Well, I made 2 shorts. We're gonna talk about both of them. But the thing is, look, I know for a fact that I have been harping on Campea all fucking week. All right, I've been harping on Campea,
like a daily segment. Let's talk
it
about
really
John
does.
Campea.
And it's like, the thing is like, I don't get John Campea at this point. That is literally where I'm at with it. Like, what the fuck is he doing? Literally, what is he like? Does he even, I know he doesn't think before he speaks. We know this, but he's had so many bad takes this week, and they're not even like critically objective. They're just like, if I was in charge, this is what I would do. And it makes no sense. Which is why
him trying, like, I watched it live. I was on my lunch break and I caught his stream, and they were talking about the Patty Jenkins thing, and he was trying to defend it, and then he brings up because the point he's trying to make, I somewhat agree with, that sometimes I feel like these streaming movies fall out of the public conversation, but then it jumps into like ludicrousy.
Here's the thing. How many other people, or I should say, how many movies that go to theaters get dumped out of the public conversation? Right?
Depends on the movie.
Most of them, RJ. Most of them.
Well,
because
quality-wise, I think
we get like quality. 3 movies a week. You know, honest to God, outside of New York and LA, who the fuck talks about Wes Anderson? Literally, no one.
Hey, I like Wes Anderson.
I'm not saying he's bad. I love Fantastic Mr. Fox. Rushmore is a fantastic movie. Bottle Rocket was great. I loved his first film. Not saying he's a bad director. What I'm saying is he creates movies for a niche, right? He creates movies for a pocket of people to see, that he knows what his audience is, and he knows that it will grow via word of mouth, but it's always going to ring true to that particular audience, and that's it. Whereas Kevin Smith does the same thing, but he tries different genres and he tries to kind of branch out to some, hit or miss depending on who you talk to. But it's like, again, a lot of these guys kind of live in their world, and that's perfectly fine. But the conversation, oftentimes in the new age, because there's so much content that goes out, it really is once in a blue moon that that something is true. Now I'm going to play the clip. The full, a longer clip than what I put on my shorts earlier, to give you guys a little bit more context. But still, listen to what he says, and then we're going to evaluate it.
When a movie comes out theatrically, Rob, you've talked about this before. You said it comes with the sort of gravitas that it has for being a theatrical film. It gets into the cultural conversation. It stays in the cultural conversation. People still talk about Moon Knight. People were writing actually just the other day on the show, writing and asking about Moonlight, and talking about La La Land, and talking about, somebody wrote in the other day talking about Backdraft, and talking about all these movies, right? You know what nobody's talked about at all? I don't think I've had a single, literally, I don't think I've had a single person write in ever since the day it opened, maybe a few days after it opened, about this. It's a movie that I believe got nominated for Best Picture, I think. Mank. Mank is one of those rare, great streaming movies. Like, it's one of the 1%. It's one of the 1% of movies that go straight to streaming that are actually any good. But a few days after it comes out, nobody's talking about it anymore. It's gone. It's just poof. It's disappeared. Hell, even Zack Snyder's Justice League cut, right? The one they did for HBO. People talked about it for years. A week after it came out, it was gone. It's just not in the conversation anymore. Except it comes up in the conversation for all the wrong reasons sometimes. But a week, and it was gone.
Yeah. Wow.
That's so wrong on so many levels.
That's why I wanted to have the full clip there, and not just like the little segment that I played in the shorts. Because so think of it like this. He goes, people just emailed me last week talking about Moonlight and La La Land. Gee, why could that potentially be something you would bring up? It's not because they're talking about the individual merit of the film. What do most people remember Moonlight and La La Land for?
The Oscars?
The Oscar debacle. That's it. The other part of that too is that he talks about Mank. All right, Mank, David Fincher movie streaming. The reviews on it were okay. It was definitely an awards style type film. And
Yeah.
it was, big talent and big everything else. I haven't seen it yet because I just kind of, it did come and go.
Yeah, it's a movie for film fans, right? Really hardcore film fans. It definitely isn't a mainstream hit, but I mean, the people who've seen it really, really like it,
Yeah. Yeah. Isaac here says Aaron and Rob's takes aren't great either. Oh yeah. No. They,
listen. Aaron was glowing in that clip. I'll just say that.
did you see her eyes though when he was talking? She was like, well, like her expression was, "What the fuck is he
She does
saying?"
that a lot though. Sometimes her and John have a very funny back and forth.
Oh, sure, absolutely. I'm not criticizing that at all. And it's not that I'm trying to say Mank is a bad movie, but Mank is not one that was going to stay in the mainstream conversation. It wasn't gonna move mountains. Moonlight never moved a mountain until it won Best Picture because La La Land won accidentally.
That's what it got infamous for. And then everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is actually a really good movie."
Yeah, so people saw it, and Mahershala Ali won Best Actor, I think, for it as well.
Yeah, and very much deserving.
And to be fair, like the movie only had like an $800,000 budget. It was a really low budget and did very well, which is great. I love it when lower budget films are able to kind of break out like that. That being said, your average movie-going individual is not going to know what the hell it is, maybe outside of its name. And then he mentions Backdraft. Okay, fine. What, 93's Backdraft is a great film?
Yeah, no, everyone talks about old movies they love. But
again,
well, I don't like the idea that, well, if you're not emailing him about it, then it's on the public conversation. I know it's probably
what
not
kind
what
of entitled, what kind of entitled idea is that he doesn't read Twitter, because he starts talking about the Snyder Cut. It's like, well, a week after it came out, like no one was talking about it. Like,
and then he's like, the only people talking about it, we're talking about it for the wrong reasons, and that's a dig at Restore the Snyderverse.
Oh well, yeah, and Lord knows I have criticized that too, but it's like,
it's still in the public conversation, whether they like it or not.
It trends it was trending randomly the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It was trending
because random Twitter accounts will be like, we're going to trend it today. Why?
Yeah.
Because we can.
Yeah, pretty much. They go, let's do it, and they'll do it, and then it happens. So it's like, no, that's always in the public conversation. People are always talking about it. As I brought up the other day, I showcased that it's still Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm going to go back to Blu-ray.com and I'm going to look at it again. I'm going to look to see at it right now.
I just don't agree with the notion that if it was only in theaters, it would have a bigger impact. A director's cut? No. A director's cut in theaters? Like, if that was the original release, then maybe. But a director's cut and a limited run theatrical release, because that's all it would have gotten, not a mainstream, like large scale theatrical release. That's so idiotic to say. Oh my god.
No, it's very, very ridiculous. It's very, very stupid.
He just has a very anti-streaming attitude that it clouds every functional brain cell in his brain to say idiotic things to push back against streaming.
It's like, and again, I think it's because, this is kind of the weirdest thing about this. It is entirely possible that John Campea is just straight up a paid opposition at this point. Like, because
I don't go that far, because that is a pretty heavy accusation. To say
okay, it's a hyperbolic accusation. I in no way actually mean it, but there is access that he has. I don't know to what extent, but there is access that he does have. So it's like trying to maintain that access. Or maybe he's trying to expand the show, and
I think he's playing. I think he's playing everyone. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if I'll give him enough credit for this. And he's playing 4D chess, but the open, putting in something like that in there, kind of gets people talking, right? Gets people more eyes on the show, more controversy. I think because controversy. I
guess, I guess. But here's the thing, too. Going back over, this is just right now from Blu-ray.com. Top 10 pre-orders. In the United States, Zack Snyder's Justice League 4K, number 1. Number 8 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then you also got...
Matt, this isn't valid. It's getting beat up by Josie and the Pussycats. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't you ever say an unkind fucking word about that movie.
No, I'm not.
I fucking adore Josie. Yeah, but I know what you mean. I mean, look at Middle Earth, the 31 disc Ultimate Collection. Fuck me. How much does that cost?
I don't know, but I saw a picture that I actually really wanted to get it.
$249 for the Lord of the Rings. Oh my God. What in the hell? I'll bring this up here real quick too. But I know it's off topic, but who gives a shit? It's fucking funny. Look at this here. Middle Earth. So you get the 31 disc Ultimate Collector's Edition, The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, the theatrical and extended version of The Hobbit, Unexpected Journey, Desolation of Smaug, Battle of the Five Armies, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King. 31 discs.
Jesus, that's probably all the behind the scenes stuff too.
Yeah. I would say this if like this is something that would be really funny to like give away as a prize one month or something like that. But still, it's like, because it's insanely overpriced. It's insanely priced because right now the 4K for the, I started off around $129 per each one, right? And then from there, I've seen them drop down to like $89 per collection. I'm like, I'm still not going to spend that money.
Now this makes sense. Okay, so I'm looking at the back of the box. So it's got 31 discs with filmmaker commentaries on each Blu-ray. Then you got the digital codes. You get 7 travel poster art cards. You get a 64-page booklet. You get an exclusive Blu-ray bonus disc, and this exclusive Blu-ray bonus disc is the Lord of the Rings cast reunion at the Alamo Draft House, hosted by Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, that ought to be fascinating. To be fair,
and you got slipcases to put over it. Like it's a very elaborate.
It's kind of like that Harry Potter like 21 disc set that they put that looked like it was like one of the traveling suitcases. Mm-hmm. That had all the different like compartments and doors in it and stuff. That was a big, that was expensive as hell. That was like $300-$400 or whatever, I think. Real quick here. This was just sent to me by Rational Skeptic. We've got him, folks. We've got him. JJ calling out Miles Teller, the anti-vax son of a bitch, shutting down productions. Miles Teller, actor or anti-vaxxer, coming to you from thedailybugle.net. That's going to be the menace.
Amazing.
The menace Miles Teller, folks. There we have it.
Public enemy number one.
Yeah, public enemy number one. I know. Man, it's just, that is like, it's like, Bite Me Here asks, does that set come with Tolkien DNA? Maybe.
I might have to get this. I'm really tempted because this looks really cool.
It's
as expensive as the Horizon Forbidden West Collector's Edition, though, and my wallet cannot handle that.
I mean, you might get more use out of like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what comes in the collector's edition of that. Of Horizon. I want to get it, but I'm gonna wait until
that physical copy of Lord of the Rings, it'll last a lifetime though, to be fair.
That's a major one. And it looks cool too. They've got what's the overview of this thing? I mean,
oh wow, the slip covers, like the covers for the movie, when you put it in the box, it looks like volumes of a book. Like they have like unique cover art.
I can get the hold on, I can get the image here. Let me just, because oh fuck, god damn it. This is the problem with Blu-ray.com is they have their images kind of like sealed.
Yeah, I went to Amazon because it was a little easier to look at.
Yeah, I know. I should just, let's go to Amazon. I'll show you guys real quick. Because I do want to, one of the things I want to do is I want to start showcasing more of the, of like the physical stuff that's coming out. Because there's, I get a lot of emails from, let's see. Hold on. Oh my god. All right. I see that, Kaz. I'll get to that here in a second, man. That's funny. But I do want to talk more about the physical releases because I get emails from Zavi and Arrow all the time. Mm-hmm. So this is the Lord of the Rings set. This is like the slips, the artwork. I mean, that's a sexy thing right there, guys.
Yeah, especially how, like, again, when you put them all in the box and like that new cover art looks like books, like volumes of a book. So
and then that does look pretty nice, actually. That would be pretty good. But anyway, getting back over to the John Campea thing here. Cass here says $10. Thank you, man. Says, I'm sorry, Matt. I'm working a contract at Microsoft and Snyder Cut is not in our conversation. It's not water cooler moment. We chat about the Queen's Gambit a lot. Just saying. Okay. I mean, I get that. It's Microsoft.
Yeah. No, I get what he's, what it's interesting because I feel like so much has changed in terms of consumption that I feel like water cooler moments as what causes describing does relate more sort of series now than movies. Everyone's talking about I haven't even like Queen's Gambit, Mandalorian, the Marvel shows,
I haven't watched Queen's Gambit yet. I hear it's really good.
Oh, it's fucking incredible.
I hear it's really good. I haven't seen it though. So it
made Anya Taylor-Joy like shoot up into like stardom. She was already big, but she like everyone pays attention to what she's in now.
Well, she's got me. She definitely doesn't have the New Mutants to thank for that one.
Yeah, she's going to be in that new Edgar Wright horror film, Last Night in Soho, which
that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm just saying it's like there's a, so yeah, anyway, I definitely want to like cover more of the physical media stuff because there's a lot there. Like, for example, I am working on the Podio commentary for Escape from New York right now. And I was going to try to have it done today, but I just could not get the time to do it, unfortunately. But I was looking up any of the information involving like books on the making of the movie. Came across this. Escape from New York, the official story of the film. It comes out November 2nd. $50 is not a bad price. It is a hardcover copy.
Oh, okay.
And it gives you a lot of behind the scenes stuff because we're coming up again. This is the 40th anniversary of Escape from New York.
40 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, the movie came out before I was even born.
Yeah.
And
it's a classic film, man. It's classic.
One of my all-time faves. I love this movie. Even Kurt Russell has said that Escape from New York is his favorite movie that he's made.
I'm curious. What do you think of Escape from LA?
I liked it. I know, look, is it as good as New York? No. Not by a long shot.
Well, it's such a different movie though.
It's a vastly different film, but you've got like Bruce Campbell as the Surgeon General of Los Angeles.
Yes.
You've got Steve Buscemi's in the movie, Pam Grier's in the movie. At the end of the film, it's heavily alluded that aliens have come to Earth, which is why there was a big joke at the time about the third movie being called Escape from Planet Earth.
They should have made that goddamn movie.
They should have made the goddamn movie. It would have been fascinating to see. But again, it's like, I would love to see like a 7-year-old Snake Plissken film. Like if that's the one thing, if we could push Carpenter, like if there's a success of, like the Halloween movies, and there is, cause they're planning 2 more, like, can we find a way to like bring back old man Plissken and like finally get that, that Metal Gear Solid movie we've all been waiting for? Not with Oscar Isaac as Snake, as Solid Snake, but I mean, like, just getting us that old man Plissken movie. The world has gone to hell. Everything's gone to shit. You know what? And Plissken has one final mission left in him, and it's get the fuck off this planet. Flicks a cigarette, like, all right, let's go. Eye patch, cybernetic eye underneath it, rocks a car like it's fucking Mad Max and shit. I'm just saying, like, it would be fun. I would be very, very happy if that's what they did. Yeah, Bradley here says that'd be amazing. I completely agree. So, like there's, I freaking love Escape from New York though. It's such a good movie. Bradley here says put Kurt Russell in Expendables. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
No, Tony, I have nothing against Oscar Isaac. I was making more of a joke about how Kurt Russell looks now. Put an eye patch on him and he looks like old man Snake from Metal Gear Solid 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, part of his cigarette because smoking is banned. That's right. Or a homemade one, yeah. Or a home rolled cigarette. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot they could do with it now, and like, where has Snake Plissken been for the last like 30 years, 40 years? He's been locked up
by aliens.
He got locked up, and aliens took over the world, and he's been a you could treat it like you could just you could literally just kind of remake the same plot from fucking Stargate, also a Kurt Russell movie. And so,
plus, honestly, you could do it like on a super cheap budget if you wanted to.
You could. They could easily do. I mean, I would not put it past Carpenter to like have a little bit of fun with it and everything else. But Carpenter's also getting up there in years, and he just likes producing music at this point.
Yeah, good for him.
So I'm really hoping we get to see a bit more here. Kira here says, wasn't that the plot from Soldier as well? Yes, that kind of was. As also, that Soldier apparently is also a sequel to Blade Runner. So that was a kind of a weird connection back then. Simon here says, what about Escape from Cleveland? I mean, everyone wants to escape from Cleveland, so I don't know if it'd be much of a science fiction movie.
No. Do Escape from Detroit. No. Better. I got a better idea.
Escape from Florida.
Escape from Florida. Yep, I was going to say the same thing.
Because I was thinking about that today too. I'm like, what if we have to just like wall off Florida? It's America's penis, right? Let's just go full.
Yeah, put a condom around it.
Yeah, let's put and that could, you treat like the movie No Escape, where it's like that was the Ray Liotta movie where he goes to the island of convicts, which Australia, and then like it just turned Florida into the prison. You know, like why Manhattan Island? Sure, it's a cool setting, but like why not Florida? Everything there that's not you wants to kill you, literally and figuratively. And just like see what happens, you know, like escape from Tallahassee.
Yeah.
So, and then Dark Beast here says gotta nuke Texas also. Well, I mean, look, man, look, we all have desires to nuke Texas for a multitude of different reasons. The thing is though, Texas is really fucking huge. Leave Austin alone. But you know what? Houston kind of fucking sucks. So it does. It really does suck. Anyway, all right, let's move on from that one there.
Basically, the summary of that point is John Campea is an idiot.
John Campea needs to retire is the point I'm trying to make. John Campea needs to retire. And I say that because, you know, look, and I'll ask you guys, he hasn't had a good take in a while, in my mind. He hasn't like, he's actively like not paying attention to anything that's not directly said to him. And that's how he is judging his punditry on the industry. As crazy as Grace Randolph is, and she's nuts, she at least has her fingers on the pulse of what's happening.
Oh no, she's very well aware of what's going on around her. She pays attention to stuff.
So she does. And, you know, but John is like, he surrounds, like Rob's, I think that's supposed to be that voice of reason. But I've noticed it ever since John left Los Angeles and he moved out to like, was it like Riverside or something, or some Fullerton? Not Fullerton, like Riverside, I think. He went east. He got out of the city. He went east, bought a house. Good for him. But ever since he left the city, it's just been like crazier shit. And I'm really wondering how much of that could be tied to him potentially feeling isolated from what he knows. You know, like it almost feels like he is bowing down to the corporate masters at this point, begging for relevancy with them. Like, give me access.
Well, I would say, like, you know, when you move away and you're away from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood and you're away from your peers that live and breathe this stuff 24/7, and you're not someone who typically likes to engage in social media or on the internet, you know, just to avoid that kind of thing, because again, sometimes it's too toxic or it's a bit too overwhelming, or like, you know, a life and a job, it might be difficult for him to understand the daily conversation, what's going on at this point. You know, he's not really seeing it.
Yeah, that's a good point here. Daniel here makes a point. Carpenter and Russell should bring back Jack Burton. Read a comic with Snake and Jack met once. Yeah, they have a Big Trouble in Little China meets Escape from New York. That's a comic. I actually came across it today. I need to read it. And Anthony here says, or maybe he has a different opinion. It's not, dude. It's not just that. Like his opinions, when he starts saying like Sony doesn't need Marvel, that is the stupidest thing. That the X-Men don't need to be in the MCU. It's one of the stupidest things. Disney spent $70 billion to buy Fox's assets. A large reason of that was because they wanted to prolong the MCU, because that is adding in multiple hundreds of characters and storylines. That's the whole thing. Sony, their movies, their franchise. What's a Sony franchise really outside of Spider-Man that has any kind of relevancy at the moment? They tried the Dark Tower. Crashed.
Ghostbusters.
Well, now yes, okay, I will grant that one, and that's the one I really want to see. They sold Hotel Transylvania to Amazon. That for their
That's
animation.
Still in-house, though.
That's in-house. It's Sony Pictures Animation, but they still sold it to Amazon.
Well, it's also the final film in the
true,
franchise.
but the other ones have done very well. Even without Adam Sandler in this one, kids aren't going to fucking know the difference. So kids aren't going to know the difference.
Weird how they can get Adam Sandler back.
I don't know, but
especially because again, it's the final film. It's the final film. You'll get Adam Sandler and Kevin James back. Why? Why not do the effort?
I don't know. But not only that, Sony sold the Mitchells versus the Machines to Netflix, and that was the number one. We watched it again yesterday. We've watched that movie a bunch, and that movie was the number one animated film on Netflix so far this year.
Yeah, and it got huge ratings. Huge.
Not only that, Vivo, which is a new one that has come in from Sony with Lin-Manuel Miranda, and it's about a monkey that's trying to like get from Cuba to some lady singing in Miami, And that adventure, and that's a cute movie too. That was a Sony Pictures Animation film. These are movies that should have been in theaters, but they sold the fact that they sold Hotel Transylvania 4, the fourth movie in a very profitable franchise, to Amazon for the meager price of $100 million. That is meager, fuck, 100 million, Jesus. But you know what I'm trying to say on this one.
Yeah,
right? You know what I'm trying to say.
What the franchise normally makes
Exactly.
in the box office. Yeah,
exactly. So
you could have asked for like 150 or 200.
They could have, yeah. Well, they spent 200 for the Tomorrow War. That's what they spent for the Tomorrow War.
Yeah, maybe 200 might be too much for an animated kids film. Maybe like 100, 125 would have been more realistic, I suppose. I guess.
Yeah. So that's kind of the whole issue here. Essentially, is just like that's where it's at. So I'm just saying, Sony has their animated stuff. Is generally pretty good. I like Sony Pictures Animation quite a bit.
They've been getting better. They've been getting a lot better.
Cloudy. Well, the first two Cloudy movies I love. Surf's Up I love. They've done quite a bit that I like. And this is before I had kids. So
they were almost in a very dark period though with that goddamn Emoji movie. That horrible, horrible, horrible movie.
We choose not to speak of the Emoji movie. Everyone involved in that movie needs to be just removed from society for a while. Even Patrick Stewart for even bothering to do it. But
T.J. Miller was removed from society.
Well, he was, yeah. Well, that was because he called in a bomb threat while he was drunk on a train.
Yeah.
DC here says Men in Black reboot was just stupid. I actually liked it, but then again, I'm a big F. Gary Gray fan.
It could have been so much better. Could have been. And that's the sad thing. It could have been.
It could have been. But it wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible, but it just felt like wasted potential. Because again, on paper, that should have been a slam dunk movie, but it wasn't.
It really wasn't. No, but it wasn't as bad as everyone made it out to be. Kira here says the Dark Tower crashed and burned, which sucks because that had so much potential. Here's the thing: I've never read the books, so I went in. I know who Roland Deschain is, and I know like the general idea because my best friend's a huge Stephen King nut. But like, I went into it not knowing much about it, and I was actually I had a lot of fun with the movie.
I was the complete opposite. I'm a big fan of the Dark Tower books, and I saw what they did, and I was fucking pissed.
Never read it.
I haven't been this pissed at how horrible an adaptation of a franchise or a property has been since like Avatar: The Last Airbender. It was so insulting and so bad. It could have been, again, Dark Tower could have been like a pillar franchise for them, and they fucked it up bad.
But see, here's the thing, and then it went over to Amazon, and Amazon actually took it to. They did a pilot episode of it, and after the pilot episode, they canceled the series. So Amazon had it, and they killed it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if it really.
I heard that apparently that show was more tied into the movie though, which was the problem.
Well, did you ever hear the initial plan? The initial plan for everything. What they wanted to do. This was Ron Howard. This is what Ron Howard wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So this was a number of years ago. Ron Howard wanted to do The Dark Tower, the first movie, as a movie, have it come out in the summer. That fall, have a TV show, The Dark Tower, come out. The TV show would be book 2. So the movie would be book 1, TV show would be book 2. Then the next year, we would get book 3 in theaters. That fall, we would get book 4 on TV, so on and so forth until you get to the end.
That's a very strange idea because how do you not confuse the audiences who go from movie to movie and don't watch the show?
It would be very confusing. I could see them doing the movie for book 1 and then continuing the show from book 2. It would still be confusing, but it wouldn't be as bad. But it's like the Wheel of Time. They just dropped a new trailer for that yesterday. And I was watching the trailer and I'm looking forward to seeing it. And I've read the first 4 books, but it's been so long I kind of forgot most of it. And there's 14 books in the series. The thing is though, is that there was a Q&A on Twitter yesterday and one of the writers had said like, there's parts of the first season of the show that adapt not only the first book, but parts of like the second book as well. And they're bringing it in and I'm like, oh, come on.
You gotta be careful.
It's because here's the thing. The first book is written as a standalone, essentially. It very much, it was not meant to be a franchise. Well, he had ideas, but he wrote it as like a first novel, beginning, a middle, and end. And there's that. And then from there, he left the books with like an open ending and, cliffhanger endings and shit like that. But that first one is designed, and I know they're trying to make it a TV show, and this is so much material. It will be very difficult for them to adapt all of it. And you know what? Like I'm kind of glad that like it's been so long. I kind of forgot a lot of it. And I don't plan on going back and revisiting everything before the show comes out in a couple months, because that's 14 books. And book 4 on audiobook was over 36 hours.
Wow.
My friend had let me borrow the audiobook on CD. It was 36 discs.
Jesus.
Like, it was nuts. They were an hour a disc. I would listen to like one a day as I was commuting to and from college. So, you know, there's a lot there. But the thing is, the way Robert Jordan wrote he was very descriptive. So a lot of the time was spent in the description, establishing your mental vision of the world to see it through his eyes. The story was wicked. It was cool, but that was a big part of it. And so adapting that to this is going to be interesting. I don't know. I'm really fascinated to see what they're going to come up with, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But I do want to get to this Rational Skeptic $10 super chat, buddy. Thank you so much. Says here also, Campea has no kids, so he's really not up to date on what the younger audience likes and wants. Younger audiences got very interested in the MCU when Spider-Man joined. I mean, sure, I get he doesn't have kids, and he might argue, well, I'm a big kid, which is something a lot of us say. You know, like right, you say that, like, you know, and he's like, oh, I play Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm a big kid now, you know.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever see his dining room table for Dungeons and Dragons? It's got a screen on it. Like it's literally it's 4 card games, like it's 4 table games. I can only imagine. I'm assuming, but he has like, you know, he is a big nerd. Let's be fair, he's a massive nerd. But the issue here essentially is just that he is also like he's out of touch with where audiences are. And he's out of touch where a lot of things are. And that kind of sucks, because I like John's takes. I don't think John is a bad guy, but this week has been very bad. And it doesn't make any
bad take after bad take that's been like very publicized.
And I've been accused of a lot of bad takes this week, predominantly concerning anime. Did you see, by the way, One Piece? They announced One Piece.
Well, no. That was something that was announced a couple years ago, but they finally they're actually getting ready to enter production. So yeah, they showed out the official logo for it. Oh boy, I sent out the tweet today. Like, I don't know how it's gonna go, because One Piece is just so fantastical. It's so dense. It's just so much of it. How do you condense it down to like I think like a 12 episode, 1 hour each show? So at least the first arc of the show, romance, you know, the East Blue saga, right? But I said, oh, just fucking wait till the Grifters get a hold of Nami and see what Nami looks like in this.
Well, that's kind of the whole thing, is that, you know, I've never watched One Piece, but here's the kicker. The show is actually being done by the same company doing Cowboy Bebop.
Yes, it is. No, they're all freaking out about saying, "Oh, here they go again."
Oh yeah, and I'm like, you know, after this week, I'm gonna chill. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like,
I'll take over for you, Matt. I'll take over for you.
I'm like, you know, yeah, if you want to go after that, that's fine. I've had enough shit like this week. I'm still dealing with enough people trying to tell me that McCarthy was right. Whatever. I told my dad the story today, and I told him people are coming at me with the whole McCarthy is right, and he just looks at me like, what? Like, because my dad was, you know, born after McCarthy. I think he was born the same year McCarthy died, but my dad's like, wait, what the fuck? Like, McCarthy was right? Like, are they high? And I'm like, no, they're you know, someone from Arizona told them that McCarthy was right, and they all just keep repeating it.
Someone from Arizona. Geez.
It is. It's Razorfist is from Phoenix. So, you know, a bespectacled man who's like a hipster version of Dennis Miller. So anyway, and then also as for Sony, James here, thank you very much, James, says Jumanji is a Sony franchise.
That's a great point. Yes. Jumanji is pretty big for them.
And that is. I mean, the first movie did almost $1 billion. The second movie did not.
Yeah. Well, that first movie was crazy, because remember that it came out in December, the same month as The Last Jedi.
It came out the week after The Last Jedi.
Yeah, and it arguably, like, it kind of killed. I wouldn't say it killed Last Jedi's momentum, but it definitely stomped it out a little bit. You know.
Well, The Last Jedi, I mean, people were really angry at it when it came out.
Yeah. And then everybody was
I was.
rushing to see Jumanji week after week after week.
Yeah, because I mean, Jumanji's a good movie, and it's all a lot of fun. One thing I did want to bring up here is in regards to the streaming thing. The writer of Freaky is actually really happy that new movies are available on streaming. Michael Kennedy comes out in defense of streaming platforms and expresses his happiness that new films are available to watch safely.
A welcome change from most of the directors and people in the industry, the pundits.
Yeah, I know. Well, because again, their bread and butter relies on theatrical. Because their bread and butter relies on who's got the multi-$100 million marketing campaign that they can kind of tap into when it comes to YouTube algorithm, or when those companies purchase ad space on their website. That is what a lot of it is, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of where we find ourselves with this. It's like every time there's a new trailer for a new movie on YouTube, like if everyone talks about it, like they'll pump that trailer out there. They'll spend the money. We'll all get our pound of flesh, so to speak, or our 30 pieces of silver for talking about it. But that can be really good depending on what time of year it is and whatever the marketing budget is. And they realize that YouTube is a solid place to kind of push that out there. So it ends up being a factor. But also, like, again, YouTube, not always the best place, because if you watch a trailer, you might end up getting a content ID claim, or.
Nope, we lost Matt. Well. Bite Me, Night at the Museum is a Fox franchise, not a Sony one. Let me make sure it's not just me. Hold on. Yeah.
Am I back?
Yeah, there you go. Now you're back.
Okay. Cool. I don't know what happened there. Very weird.
Good old StreamYard.
Good old StreamYard. But I want to do one thing. Hold on. Matt here says Zombieland and Underworld are also Sony. That is right. Also Resident Evil, because it was Screen Gems. Underworld is also Screen Gems. Zombieland was Sony directly. Yeah, you're right. There's let's see here. Hold on. Shifty Gizm. You guys missed the boat on Cry Macho. It was all up in the algorithm for days. Yeah. Yeah, the new Clint Eastwood movie where he plays like the retired cowboy. He's got to go to Mexico to go get his boss's kid. Kind of sounds like fucking Rambo Last Blood without the massive amounts of violence.
Yeah.
Which was wicked. Anyway, I like that movie. But all right, so here's something that happened today. I just want to quickly touch upon this. It's are you a Rick and Morty fan?
I am, actually, yes.
Did you happen to see the little teaser that came out?
I did, yes. Yeah, I saw.
Okay.
I didn't get to watch it, but I heard about it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is something that I never thought I'd ever see. And the thing, I'm going to play here in a second. I'll just tell you guys this. I don't quite know how I feel now that I've seen it, but let's watch it.
Morty. Well, oh.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know what that is. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like seeing Christopher Lloyd playing Rick Sanchez.
It's really cool, but really strange at the same time.
It is super strange. It's kind of like Rick Sanchez popping up in Space Jam: A New Legacy. Like really quick, Rick and Morty pop up to toss back Taz. Like, you guys can have him. Blah. It's like, wait, what? Like, why is it?
I like it because it's funny, and it's like, it's always what you kind of wanted to see, because Rick is very much inspired by, it's like Rick and Morty is a very take on Back to the Future.
Doc and Mharti. Mharti was the original. Did you ever see that?
No, I never saw that. No.
Oh shit. You want to? It's short.
Sure, why not?
This is okay, hold on here. It's so bad. Yeah, there we go. Let me find
Why
it.
do they put this out though? That's my question. Like, just because for fun, or isn't it the 20th anniversary of Adult Swim or something?
No. Oh, well, you're talking about like. Well, wait. Are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm
how
just asking
Rick-
like why they put this clip out today. Like why?
Probably because there's like new episodes or something.
I could have sworn it's because Adult Swim celebrating some kind of anniversary or milestone, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, maybe it is. There's it's hard to find it. It might be on. Damn it. Because okay, so if you don't know where this came from, right? The thing is like there is the Adventures of Doc and Mharti started off with Channel 101. And Channel 101 was this really crazy short film or short television pilot program or competition in LA. It was basically everyone would go out who wanted to participate. They would make a pilot, like a 5-minute pilot for a television show. And then they would go, I think they would submit it. I forget how much they paid for it. They would submit it to Channel 101, who every month would hold a screening, and you go to the screening and you vote on which ones you like. And so the top 3 the top 3 episodes will get the extension to come back the next month and do another episode. And so if you get voted out right away, then that episode is done. That show is dead. You go on to the next idea. One of the ones like Chad Vader came from that. And,
okay.
and Rick and Morty ultimately came from it too.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could find, cause it's such a dark.
Yeah. And so just to address them real quick, the chat explained why they dropped this. So apparently it's a promotional video ahead of the season 5 finale. That was the purpose of it. It was to promote the season 5 finale because it airs on Sunday.
Okay. Oh, I haven't even watched season 4, so I'm like really, really fucking behind on that, to be honest with you. So that is my bad, y'all. But all right. So this is the Doc and Mharti, the original Doc and Mharti.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is so old school. It's also very bad.
This ball sack's hanging out.
Yeah. Let's go.
Oh man, my kite's in the tree, Doc. I hate this stupid tree. I'm so sad.
Don't be sad, Marty. We'll go back in time, and we'll make sure that your kite doesn't get stuck in the tree.
All right, Doc, that sounds great. I'm gonna go get my boots.
Proudly.
All right, Doc, I'm back. I got my boots. I'm excited. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Marty, we have a problem. The time travel car won't start.
Oh no! What can we do?
Lick my balls, Marty. Lick my fucking balls.
Jesus.
Yeah. Now you know.
Oh my God.
Rough Collies Rock here says, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. My eyes.
Can we throw up the Hollywood After Dark Pornhub logo? I think it's pretty appropriate.
I think at this point in time, here we go. And this is also, I am gonna totally put this design on a t-shirt. Yeah.
Wow.
So there, if you've never seen the origins of Rick and Morty, then this is
that was something.
This is not what you expected, right?
No.
Yeah,
not at all.
Yeah. Dan Harmon did a parody of Dexter. This came.
How
He got on.
fuck did that not get canceled?
How
I'm
did
just saying, nobody brought this back up at all.
Oh no, it gets brought up all the time. No one cares. That's the whole issue. Like no one gives a shit. Yeah,
I'd like to mention that those characters are now in Fortnite, basically.
Yeah, yeah, rolling around through the MLK museum. Marty, suck my balls. That's what MLK would have
We live
wanted.
in very, very strange times.
Oh, we do. Oh, yeah. The hold on. Rough Collies here says, "Oh my God, whoever made that. Oh God, I can't believe that exists." Do you ever watch Rick and Morty? Because that was Rick and Morty. That's the same guy who made Rick and Morty. Hollywood After Dark Premium. There we go. Yeah. So that was the thing that was like, there's other episodes of it as well. I think they did like 3. And then, but Dan Harmon did one that it was a take on Dexter, where instead of being a serial killer that kills serial killers, it's a guy who like rapes babies.
What?
Yeah. And so they ended up like, the whole thing is terrible.
That's going a little.
Yeah,
far.
I might actually just end up clipping out the entirety of the segment of Rick and Morty.
You might have to.
I might have to. Yeah,
I don't know.
I might have to do that at the end.
If you're watching this live, you got the exclusive. You know,
yeah. I don't know okay, Javier's like, how did this last 3 episodes? Because it wasn't an official thing. It's all channel 101. Look up.
Oh, did you cut out again? I think Matt cut out again. Rational Skeptic. I don't know. I think I'd probably agree that like Futurama a little bit more than Rick and Morty. You know, Rick and Morty is funny, but it's not like, it's not like my ride or die show. Futurama is my jam though. I love Futurama. I'm
a more of a Futurama fan than I am Rick and Morty fan. I like Rick and Morty, but Futurama is all great in my mind. So, because
yeah, you're cutting out a little bit. It's like robotic.
Stupid.
Yeah, it keeps doing it, man. I don't know why. I heard stupid, and then it's just like going back to robot. It is probably a Campea hit, man, Carlos. I agree. John Campea was like, Jarbo's talking shit again. Better hire the sniper. Or maybe it's Miles Teller. Maybe Miles Teller got in touch.
He's super mad at me right now. He's super mad at me right now. There we go.
That's back to normal.
All right. Is this up here? Okay, I have to remove that too. All right. That whole thing. I don't know what's
trying to stop Matt from spreading more.
It's probably. Mick Quanner's asking, has anyone seen Final Space? Yeah. I've seen the first season. It was really good. I haven't seen season 2 or 3, but I do like it quite a bit. So yeah, that's
right. How do we transition from that?
Yeah. So let's talk about. Why don't we talk about the thing that is on the thumbnail, and that of course is the Russo brothers are currently having an issue with Disney. Now, this is a rumor. It's coming in through the Direct, and the Direct is usually pretty good. I do like the Direct.
Oh, no. This is coming from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Wall Street Journal had a very extensive article about the Disney lawsuit and the ramifications that the Scarlett thing had. Actually, something that I just saw recently is that Kevin Feige, they talked to Kevin Feige, or like their sources told Wall Street Journal that Kevin Feige was apprehensive about putting Black Widow to Disney Plus because of the optics of having one of the very few female-led movies in the MCU thus far being having a streaming component.
Yeah, no, I had the article right here. I was going to get to it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
You fucked me up, RJ. No, it's all good. But you're right. You're absolutely right. Feige, the reports were saying that Feige was not happy about everything, that he wasn't, he was embarrassed by it all. And finding out more, there's been some more info today, actually, about, and actually just dropped tonight. I think it was on Variety. I saw it when I was out. Let's see. Hold on. Scarlett Johansson, because I think we found out like more or less a little bit more this was a couple days ago that we found out more about this. Okay, so it was my mistake. I saw the tweet heading around today, but I was wrong from when the day it was. So yeah, I mean, like the thing with the Scarlett thing is, and the Russos make a very good point as to why. It's not that they're mad at Disney. It's not that they're like defending Scarlett necessarily. It's because they don't know how they're going to get paid.
They don't know how they're going to get paid, and there's questions about the logistics of everything in a post-pandemic world, post-streaming.
Yeah,
because they really Endgame came out before the streaming era began, right? April 2019 versus the November 2019 launch of Disney Plus, right? So It's like, things are changing. I don't blame them for being apprehensive and like wondering, like, I don't know, because this is just such a weird situation for everybody right now.
Oh no, it absolutely is. It 100% is. So according to the Wall Street Journal here, they're saying that that they've reached an impasse to direct another movie with Marvel, and this, of course, is not something Feige likes. It's Feige's entire job is with the talent.
Yeah. What do you think they were in line to direct? By the way, what do you think?
Secret Wars.
Secret Wars, you think
That's
so?
exactly what they said
But
after
wouldn't Secret
Endgame.
Wars be like super far away? Or
Yeah,
would
it's down
they
the
be-
road. They're not gonna like
So they would
come
sign
on
a
right
contract
now.
this early?
Yes. Marvel is planning 17 steps down the road, man.
No, that's true. That's true.
They like
I'm just wondering if
like
you think maybe they were like at one point thinking of something else. And then doing Secret Wars.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think they wanted to do Secret Wars because they had made mention of that right after Endgame came out. They were just like, yeah, we'd come back to do Secret Wars. But then the question was it the 1985 run or was it the 2000s run? Right. And that's kind of been the question. I think
85 versus 2015.
Yeah. And I think really like people are thinking, oh, it's not the 1985 run is what they may want to do. When in reality, Feige's going to want to do the 2015 run.
Yeah, 85 one's more like the Battle World thing. 2015 is the multiverse stuff with like the Ultimate Universe and all the different versions of the same characters, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Mikey Sutton's in the chat.
Oh, Mikey here saying that there is something else before Secret Wars.
I told you that. That's what I'm saying. I think they were.
Well, Mikey, you haven't told me that.
Yeah, I know.
You were telling me today. You were telling me today. Secret Wars. He really was. He DM'd me this like another variation of this article today.
I wonder if it
like,
would be a Wolverine something because they've always.
I don't know. He's like, you withholding shit, Mikey?
I know. Mikey should come on and drop the scoop now.
I don't know. Well, it's 11:32. I don't know what he's doing right now. But anyway, yeah. So I guess there's something else. I mean, the only thing I could think of before Secret Wars would probably be something with Kang, but because that's kind of what they're building up
You
for.
think they would do Young Avengers?
I don't know. I mean, obviously that's something that they could do.
I'm just saying they like to play around in the team up movies. So
don't quote Star Wars at me, Mikey. Don't quote Star Wars at me while leaving me with a cliffhanger.
Yeah. By the way, no, I don't think Warner Brothers is going to try and get the Russo brothers.
No,
they like to poach Marvel talent a lot, but I just don't think they will.
No, the Russo brothers are definitely gonna stay with. Look, they know. Look, here's the thing: when you have the movie that is like the number one movie. That was the number one movie of all time.
And you got Infinity War, like what, number 4, number 3?
Yeah. It's that whole thing. They're going to stick with that. But then again, DC here makes a great point with how Cherry bombed. They need to get back to the comic book movies. That is true. But that was also an Apple TV Plus movie.
It wasn't very good though, sadly. I wish it was a better movie. Tom Holland tried so hard to give a good performance, but when you have the Russos putting a camera and implying that you're looking inside Tom Holland's asshole, it's very strange.
Yeah, well, they probably just wanted to do something so darkly different from the MCU, but at the end of the day,
I'm hoping that Netflix movie will be good with Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling. That could have potential.
Wait, oh yeah. I think it's like, look, I think the thing is like, they also did You, Me, and Dupree before doing Winter Soldier, but they also then, before even doing that, they were shooting episodes of Community. They did some of the best episodes of Community season 2. And that is what got them the job doing Winter Soldier. And they've proven themselves with everything in regards to comic books. So I don't know why Cherry was maybe the problem. It might have been like the script. I haven't seen it because I don't have Apple TV+.
And yes, the chat's asking, yes, there's a shot in the movie where you see like a hole, and then it's like you see a doctor, and it's the implication that, yes, you're looking inside his asshole. Yeah. That's a real shot in the movie, yes.
Well, there's a lot of people in West Hollywood that would kill for that particular role, you know what I mean? They're like...
Yeah. Well, a lot of female Tom Holland fans are probably very happy with certain scenes in that movie. Maybe.
I'm sure. Oh, I'm very sure. Mikey said, I only told you one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you only told me one, unless I just skimmed over what you said.
Yeah, and Mikey said it's not Secret, or it's not Young Avengers. Captain America 4?
Hold on. I'm going back and looking at what he sent to me earlier today.
I mean, I could see them getting the Russos back to do the Sam Wilson trilogy, maybe.
Maybe. All right.
I really don't know what else they could have
done. No. He told me. Okay. Yeah. I didn't. Okay. Can
you say on the air what it was?
Well, can I say on the air what that is, Mikey? Let me ask him, because like
ask him first.
I didn't get any information on what it is. It was just like, it was literally just like 3 words is all it is. But
Oh,
Let's
that's
see
right.
what he has
Okay,
to
yeah,
say about
Young
that.
Avengers will be on Disney Plus. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, that makes all sense in the world. But I wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah, he said
if
sure, go for it. So.
okay, yeah, X-Men. An X-Men project. It didn't say what it was. Just an X-Men project is all he says.
Okay, that makes sense. Probably Wolverine. I think Wolverine would make sense, or they would direct the actual X-Men team up movie, like the main, like when they do X-Men, like Marvel Studios X-Men. I could see them directing that.
Well, or the mutants or whatever they're going to call it, because they're going to have to like,
Please don't call it the mutants. Just call it X-Men for God's
I just
sakes.
saw today. Well, Dark Phoenix just today started streaming on Disney Plus. So the same day Shang-Chi goes to theaters.
Is New Mutants on Disney Plus?
No, it's still on HBO Max for a while.
How much longer?
Well, Dark Phoenix, they had a year of being on HBO before they going back over to Disney. So
I still know.
So like 6 months, 6 months, I think.
Yeah.
On 6 months, yeah.
Okay, probably like what, end of the year maybe, or early.
Yeah,
next
probably,
year?
probably. I haven't watched New Mutants yet either, so I don't know if it's. I hear it's just not very good.
Yeah, I'm just an Anya Taylor-Joy fan though, so I'll watch everything she's in.
Well, I think it's like so. I could see Wolverine being the introduction into it, if they're going to go that route. But it's also, again, look at this thing right here, because this is what's going to determine whether or not it's going to be a thing. The outlet, this would be Washington Post, saying that the current fiasco between Scarlett Johansson and Disney left the pair unsure of how they would be paid for the next film and how it would be distributed to audiences. So, and then they of course declined to speak on the matter. But again, the situation with this lawsuit is definitely one that is major. It's the implications and the long lasting repercussions of this are insane.
Again, it's another thing where it's like Bob Chapek, man.
Well, look, Chapek, in my opinion, did not have much of a choice. Okay, the guy
he didn't, but still.
I know he had to make the call. But see, the thing is, though, Black Widow itself did very well, and that's undeniable. It's done what, 600 million worldwide. So it's done well in a pandemic.
No, I don't think it's 600. I think it's like 300, 350.
Hold on. Black Widow worldwide.
Because remember, it has been released in some countries because of the pandemic. I don't think it's a Chinese
300 million. I thought, why the fuck did I see 600?
Yeah, I think currently right now it's like 350.
Okay. Well, what? And then also it's done, 125 million, if not more, probably more with Disney Plus.
Yeah. So you could say about 400 million.
You could say 400, 450 would be maybe okay, that ain't great. All right, that ain't great, but
it's better than Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though, is what Scarlett Johansson wanted was $100 million that she thought she would have gotten if the movie would have hit 1.2 billion, which is what Captain Marvel and Black Panther kind of ended up with. So she thought she would get that. That's what they're asking for. And as a result of this, one of the things I was reading today was that Disney just ignored them. And so look, Chapek handled this thing like Biden in Afghanistan, not great, but they're also left with hard choices to make. And that is kind of, I think what he was hoping for was that it would do well. And then they would be able to it would
basically, it would have done well enough to be like, nobody would be upset. It's like, well, it did well enough so everyone can walk away happy. Yeah.
Well, DC here says the movie would not have made 1.2 billion. If it was pre-pandemic, yes, it would have. Absolutely would have. Because if it would have come out opening weekend May, so that's the beginning of the summer season,
which Marvel always kicks off, and they always do exceptionally well at. Yeah,
exactly.
Honestly, this might be a hot take, but after seeing Shang-Chi, that could have been $1 billion movie as well. I really do think so.
I think the longevity of Shang-Chi is going to be very good,
especially with a Chinese release date. Like the quality of the movie is so good. I honestly believe it would have done extremely well.
I think it would have. Yeah, I do. I agree with you. But I don't know. I mean, we're just in this different world right now. And you know what? The sequel is when the sequel comes out, we'll be in a better place. So it will make money then. But for right now, it's kind of like a moot point to argue all of this. In Scarlett's case, it makes sense because Scarlett wants her money.
I just hope they work it out, man. Because I want the Russo brothers to come back to Marvel.
I think the thing is though, this is if I don't believe Cameron Pasha on anything he says. All right. But looking at at what's being shown to us here, I kind of think Bob Chapek, if anything, is swinging his dick around a little bit. He's wanting to assert power. He's like, no, I made that call. we gave you, like we'll work a deal with you or whatever, but you're not going to get the 100 million.
Yeah,
I
still think he's got. I have the sneaking suspicion that he's not going to be around for much longer. I could be wrong. I just get the vibe that that's not the guy that's going to be sticking around.
I have said that Iger is still going to stick around as the executive chairman. He's going to be the CEO. And because when he was running it, he was chairman, he was CEO and chairman of the board. So sorry, not CEO, but chairman. And so he had like really massive influence. And he also still has the highest amount of personal shares owned by anyone at Disney. Second to the only person who comes close to him is George Lucas for personal shares. So it's like he's got a lot of so Iger has a lot of his resources, a lot of his wealth tied up into Disney stock. And if Chapek is coming in and he's Xing out the creators and he's making these brash decisions that are based upon trying to react to the pandemic rather than to, I don't know, like see where it's going and try to get out in front of it.
Yeah, it's playing. I don't know. I guess it's playing more conservatively when they should be thinking more in the like it's playing short term versus longevity, right? They're not looking at a bigger picture potentially.
Well, yeah. And the other side of that too is that right now, you could argue that Shang-Chi is proving the experiment correct in this moment because it's on a Labor Day weekend. Dude, they never drop anything big on Labor Day weekend ever.
No, that's why they're breaking the record for biggest Labor Day opening ever. Yeah, I mean, should it have maybe hit 100 million? Yeah, in an ideal post or pre-pandemic world, yeah. But the way it's going, I can see it opening at 70. And 70 is not too shabby at all, especially as holds.
No, it's not shabby at all.
See, even Mikey thinks TikTok on Chapek. I agree, man. I just don't see him staying for very long. I really don't. I think I don't even know why Iger put him in power in the first place. I think he really
what it would have been is the parks did see record numbers.
But the park fans despise this man. They wanted him gone even from running the park.
Yeah, but the park fans, keep in mind what was one of the first things that he did was start to cut back on the loyalty programs.
I know that's why they called him Cheapek because he liked to cut corners in the rides and
the whole goal with that, the idea behind it. Makes sense financially. Fiscally, it makes sense. I mean, it's still a dumb idea, but I can understand the logic behind it.
Yeah, and again, I agree with Mikey. It's like the more you continue to upset Feige and ruin and tamper with the golden goose, it's a bad look. And I think overall the company would put more value in stock in Feige over Chapek. They'd rather have Feige over Chapek if they're smart, which hopefully they are smart.
Yeah, he's made them all an absolute dickload of money. So
and 100%. Still is in a way. He's become a pillar of Disney Plus with his content.
Well, he's become a pillar of the entire organization. I'd argue that ultimately Feige has more power than Alan Horn. At the end of the day, but it's like. Because I was listening to Midnight's Edge. I was sent a bit from Midnight's Edge clip, and they were trying to say, like, the merchandise people are the ones who greenlight projects. I'm like, no. I mean, I'm sure they're consulted,
that's super wrong. No, the merchandising is a component of. It's an extension of the film studio. It's not. I don't know.
Yeah, well, they're trying to argue that Chapek is at this point trying to like muscle his way in and have everything be merchandise driven, which again, that's if he coming from the park, that makes the most amount of sense because that ends up being the bigger factor of it. But you got to realize here too, is that like his goal, he's trying to mine IPs and put the IPs in the parks in order to get people who maybe wouldn't normally go on a Disney adventure, go to like either going to the parks or going on a cruise line, that they would spend the money to go. I mean, look at Disney Wish, just the cruise ship is like for my family, 4 of us to go for a week. I think I estimated it out to be, I thought it would be like $5,000 or something. It was 10.
Jesus.
That's a week.
I mean, dude, I so badly want to go to Avengers Campus. And what is that? It's a branded land that's part of a major IP incorporating brand synergy to promote a major franchise. They're doing a lot now. Instead of like the original rides, they're kind of like phasing out the original rides and replacing them with some kind of IP. They had the river thing in Epcot became a Frozen ride, right?
And they're updating Splash Mountain to be about Princess and the Frog, a direct sequel to Princess and the Frog, by the way.
Which I'm fine with. Because,
sure, but it's also like, here's the thing with that is like people like the Splash Mountain ride, man.
I know.
Like it's different. And it's like, don't get me wrong. Like Song of the South is Song of the South.
My question is, are they going to like change the drop to make it more kid friendly? Because remember the whole thing about Splash Mountain is a giant drop. It's the most famous thing about it. But it wouldn't
if
be
they
like,
alter, I don't think they're going to alter the drop. If they alter the drop though, it's like, fuck you. That ride is dead.
yeah, because you just took out the biggest selling point. Like everyone loves the huge drop. I don't think they will, but it's just something to think about. Well, and also infamously, the Guardians ride in California Adventure. That was the Tower of Terror, and they tore it down and replaced it with Guardians Mission Breakout.
They didn't tear it down. They just renoed it.
Yeah, they just basically switched stuff out. I remember that pissed off a lot of Disney Parks fans. They were upset at like, you're taking down one of the greatest rides in the park to replace with another IP.
Well, yeah, I get it. And they also just got rid of for Avengers Campus. They got rid of the Muppets too.
Did they get rid of Muppets?
They got rid of they got rid of the Muppets. So
I thought they only got rid of the Bugs Land.
Maybe it's Bugs Like. Maybe I don't know.
I think it was
maybe
Bugs
I'm wrong
Land.
on that. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't quite know. But real quick here, we got Real Elma Cinema with $5, man. Thank you. Says Sonic and the 10 Rings. Yes.
Actually, did you see the Sonic movie Twitter account? They actually tweeted something about Shang-Chi.
Oh, nice. Well, that's good. They're having a little bit of fun with that one.
Yeah, because about the rings.
Mo Moon here says, I owe you an apology for what? You made me apologize to you last night for some reason. Now you owe me an apology. This is a weird game, Mo. It's a weird fucking game. But that being said, let's continue with the Shang-Chi conversation here. So what Deadline is reporting is that it is smashing the Labor Day opening weekend records with 60+ million. And again, last night with that 8.8 million, that was a big number. That was a big number.
That was bigger than Fast 9. Although I do agree with the notion, though, that most Marvel fans do like to go rush out and see the movie on opening night, Thursday.
Yeah.
But again, I talked about my experience tonight. Just got back from seeing the movie a few hours ago. It was just as packed, if not slightly more packed, than when Black Widow came out. I'm not saying it's going to open as big, obviously, but people are invested and interested in watching this movie, and I think the numbers we're seeing reflects that. I think I told you earlier, if it opens below 50, they'd be worried. But if it's 60 to 70, that's a big victory. They got to be dancing around the offices and being pretty happy about this.
Well, it says here that Shang-Chi's 3 days total look to be around 60 million, with the potential to do in the mid to high 60 range over 4 days. So including they're going to,
the 4 days could go up to 70, even 80.
Yeah. So then it says that's supposed to be 120%, 26% higher than previous Labor Day weekend opener with 2017's Halloween. It could go even much higher, but we'll have a better idea tomorrow morning. This is according to industry estimates, not Disney. And
we'll know tomorrow when they do the
Friday tomorrow
totals.
A better idea. Yeah. Because here's the thing with that, as I've said before, all theaters have to report to a couple different tracking services. Like there's Rentrax and a couple other places as well. And they get the actual data that gets sent to them. It's not like streaming where they have the ability to come on in and go, whatever. But the other thing here to consider too, is just looking at the at the Rotten Tomatoes score from the movie, giving you, again, I mean, this movie is, as we saw from some person last night, that it was boring and it was stupid and it was all about the sister, blah, blah.
Can I say really quickly after watching the movie, that guy's a fucking liar.
He's a
fucking liar. And I would call him a very nasty word, but I don't want to extreme demonetize and more than already has, but fuck that guy.
Yeah. No, it's he sucks.
It's such bullshit, dude. It was such bullshit. Like, it made me even angrier. Like, this guy was lying to people.
Apparently, wait, hold on. Doomcock is live right now. Okay. Like, I mean, like,
good for him.
He wouldn't have me on, man. So he won't have me on. That would be pretty funny if he did, but he won't.
Oh, I mean, Gary Nerdrotic. That's the guy we looked at last night. His reaction was a bunch of bullshit.
I don't see, he maybe was online. I don't see him online right now, but I forgot that I'm subbed to him on one of my channels. I don't know why.
Yeah, but 98%. 98% is really, really good. That's, and I don't know if you saw, but the movie just got an A cinema score. So
yeah, it did. I saw that they got an A cinema score.
So word of mouth's gonna be very strong on this.
Well, yeah, I mean, like people who I didn't think would like it went and saw it, and they came out saying, "Yeah, I liked it," and it has a good vibe to it.
Can we get Enosh to watch this? Because he was like, I'm not into martial arts movies.
I know he'll watch it when it comes to HBO Max or sorry, Disney Plus. But like even H Barts, who was kind of like iffy on it, from what I can gather, he saw it today and he liked it quite a bit. So he was happy with it. So a lot of people seem to like Shang-Chi quite a bit, and that is actually a really, really, really good thing. Because it's like I said, if you want to see Spider-Man this year, you have to go see Shang-Chi. That is,
or any other movie, Venom 2, Ghostbusters.
Shang-Chi specifically, because that is the litmus test.
Oh no! I mean, like if you want to see any other movie this year, you had to go see Shang-Chi this weekend. You have to.
I mean, I'm looking forward to to No Time to Die and Halloween Kills and all the other stuff that's coming out this fall.
Yeah, according to Viewer Anon, they are very much looking at Shang-Chi and No Time to Die specifically. I don't think No Time to Die is going to do very well, but if Shang-Chi does good enough, it could pull its weight to influence some decisions.
Yeah. Cam here asks, do you guys think Iron Man's 3 sins were wiped away by this movie?
Yes.
I like what they did with it quite a bit. I like Iron Man 3.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you didn't like Iron Man 3, though, this is perfect. This is exactly what you've been wanting this entire time.
And what I do like, though, is that there is a reference to the one shot.
Yes, there is. There's a lot.
And as soon as I saw that they put the one shot on Disney Plus on the main page, I was all like, oh yeah, okay. I know what's gonna happen in Shang-Chi.
Oh, by the way, you told me to keep an eye out for the Dragon Ball Z references. There was 2. They were amazing.
Okay. I don't know what they are.
Kamehameha in the movie at the end, which was that was great.
Oh, I heard that, the Kamehameha.
Yeah,
I thought that was like a fucking fish. Or no, I'm thinking of the mahi mahi. What does Kamehameha mean? I don't watch this
Goku.
stuff.
That's Goku's when he charges up to throw it out. It's like the energy beam. It's like his main power. He charges up the Kame. How the fuck you say it? I'm tired, but you know what I mean. He charges up the energy blast and shoots it out.
I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
It's anime shit. Don't worry about it. But I understood the Dragon Ball Z.
Don't worry, don't worry, Jack. It's anime shit. Coming anime shit from Roman Polanski. But no, there's Javier here says, shout out to the boy Morris. Yeah, Morris was great. No, Isaac here makes a great point. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to go to the cinema anytime soon, especially with the new variant being discovered. That is a factor, man. That is
listen, I completely understand that. Again, I just had family members who just got COVID, so I understand people's concerns. It is very scary out there. For me personally, I stayed masked the entire movie because AMC does recommend that you stay masked when you're not eating or drinking. Even if you are vaccinated. And thankfully, most people were following the rules, which I was very happy about.
Yeah, I was in the same boat. When I saw it, I had a drink, I had popcorn, but the thing is, I kind of sat away from people where I like to sit. And, then,
I couldn't do that because it was, like I said, it was so packed. It's Friday night. Everybody was there.
No, it really was. Yeah. And then afterward, I put it back on. I would just rather be safe than sorry. Don't get me wrong. I took my favorite mask because I have a Ninja Turtles one that my stepmom made that has a nose bridge in it. So it's easier to breathe through. It still keeps it pretty good on my face, but it gives me a little extra room.
Yeah. I need a better mask personally, a personal one.
Yeah. It's very nice for, it's very nice to see a movie with because it doesn't get in your face about it. But so I want to kind of get to the last thing of the night here. We'll kind of blaze through this because I'm a little tired here. Let's see here. William here says, if it weren't for the screenings we host, I would wait for all of these films on streaming. This strain is really screwing Vegas. I completely agree with you.
Vegas is getting hit super hard. I feel really bad for that's my hometown. I'm from Vegas.
Wasn't there a super spreader event 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
I believe Friday Night Tights was the organization, and
no. Friday Night Whites.
Well, no, that's something out of the East Coast. That is the non-white nationalist variant. This is No, this is anyway. I know Vegas is. I really, yeah. It's we gotta get
it's
this shit
gotten
under
hit really
control.
hard, man. I like seriously. I hope things get better over there. Even in my state, man, the ICU bed situation is bad. You know.
It is here too. It is here too. Hey guys, do me a favor. We got 80 people watching. Why don't you slap the likes? Let's go try and get the 50 likes. Slap the likes. Slap it. Tickle it a little bit.
Hit that like button. It helps
Hit
out.
that likes. Like I said, Miss fucking Minutes kind of demands it. Show Cap a bitch. Anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate that. Let's talk about, let's finally wrap this up here and talk a bit about the big news of the day. And that, of course, is the Dune reviews that have now been coming out. Dune.
This is my first time looking at this page. That is a lower tomato than I thought it would be.
It is about, well, it's only 29 reviews. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the likelihood of it going down is higher than it going up. And the thing you got to remember with this, though, is like from one of the things I was reading is that it kind of just like abruptly ends, because the problem with this movie, in my opinion, and I've said this before, is that they should have shot it all back to back to back, like Lord of the Rings, you know, like Back to the Future 2, 3, like The Matrix 2 and 3, to ensure that it will come out.
Yeah, that was something I read. I read one of the reactions, and they said this made me feel like I was going back and watching the original Lord of the Rings in terms of like magical, like one of those amazing cinema moments. But I'm so scared that they're not going to make a sequel, because like this movie is so dependent on them making that sequel, because like it's just one part of a greater story, you know?
Yeah. No, it really is. Because I mean, like, because the David Lynch movie was 2 hours and it covered the whole story.
This is basically going to be like a 4-hour epic if you can.
Yeah, well, which is what it should be, which is totally what it should be. I saw people even talking about it today by trying to say like it could be like a trilogy.
Just for the first book?
Just for the first book. And I'm like, I don't know.
2 movies I think would be best, honestly.
I think 2, it'd be kind of fine. But I do agree with William here that Dune is going to bomb, but it will be a hit with critics and Oscar voters. It might do well on HBO Max. I think they're going to really pimp those numbers, to be honest with you. I think we're going to hear.
I really hope it does well, though, because, again, it looks so good. I can't wait to watch it.
It looks it.
I'm actually reading the book right now to prepare for the film. So.
I did see your tweet about that. And the thing is, though, it's like, look, the critics are going to like it, you know. But again, it's kind of like, look, okay, just look at these ones up here. The casting choice is poor. It's a small but noticeable chip in the paint when it comes to Dune, a work that's otherwise of such intimidating grandeur that it's hard to believe it even exists in the first place, which she still gave it a fresh review, 5 out of 5, which is such a weird quote there from Cassie Laurie.
Why put that quote where it's like you're being negative about the casting?
But still giving it a 5 out of 5?
Yeah. What are the negative ones like? I'm just curious.
One
of them was that David guy from IndieWire. Yep, that's him. Okay. Yeah, people were really upset with his review. He got like quote tweeted to hell and back. People were really upset with his review, and I'm not for sure why, but he was very negative.
Well, because keep in mind, when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes, these guys get to select their quote. So he says, eventually Dune only resembles a dream in that it cuts out on a note so flat and unresolved that you can't believe anyone would have chosen it on purpose. And see, that's what I'm talking about. That's the concern. The concern is simply this, right? Think of Lord of the Rings. Think of the end of the Fellowship, right? The end of the Fellowship is Boromir is dead. All right, Boromir is dead. The Fellowship of the Nine are scattered. You know, Samwise and Frodo are like, you know, Frodo wants to give up, and Sam gives him that impassioned speech, you know, like, no, Mr. Frodo, we have to go, Mr. Frodo. Mm-hmm. And then so it's like that plays on your emotions. Never mind the absolutely fucking amazing soundtrack. Yeah. And then it's like,
no, we got to keep going on this journey. And then
we've got to go do this. And then they get on the boat and they sail off towards adventure, towards Mount Doom. And that's where it ends. And it ends on an epic ass cliffhanger where you're like, holy fucking shit, what's going to happen next?
Even though stuff's not resolved, it's like, it's a good enough ending point where it's like, you're excited for the next chapter.
You have a bookend.
You feel satisfied with what you got.
Yeah, and you can rewatch what you got and you can go back and enjoy it and then get to the end and go, yeah, what's going to happen next? And then the next time around, I forget where they ended fucking Two Towers. It's been so long, but it's like, you know, again, the same thing going into Return of the King, and having that build up. Even they tried that with the Hobbit prequel trilogy. I feel like the Desolation of Smaug's ending was fucking awesome, because I thought Benedict Cumberbatch had like that performance was so good.
Yeah, and that was a
the
perfect cliffhanger too.
That was a
like,
great
It
cliffhanger.
was like, oh shit, the dragon's out and he's gonna go burn down the village.
Like, that was cool as all hell. And then they resolved it super fucking quick.
And the rest of the movie is just this boring battle. You know?
I like the Battle of Five Armies. I stand by it.
I still think that it should have been 2 movies, not 3, but it is what it is.
That's fine. I mean, that's fine. I get it. But I really did like Desolation a lot. I think Desolation is my favorite of the 3. But I will say, though, just with the Unexpected Journey, Guillermo del Toro's influence was felt in every frame of that movie.
Yes.
And that makes me really bummed that, like, we didn't get that with Desolation. But I do feel that in regards to the progression of the trilogy, where you have like your middle chapter is usually your darker chapter, Peter Jackson was able to do it in a way that felt more natural to what they were attempting to do. But it would have been really cool to see what Guillermo would have done with if they would have done the rest of it. I don't know. I mean, the whole thing was a mess with the actor strike out of New Zealand. The fact that they got it done at all is amazing. And here's the thing too, in a couple months, it's going to be 9 years since An Unexpected Journey came out, which is just, it's so wild. 9 years. Yeah. I saw that movie in LA like the week before I moved out of LA.
I saw all of them in theaters. I remember that.
Yeah.
This wasn't Unexpected Journey the one where they did the weird frame
the
rate?
48 frames per second. Yeah.
Yeah,
like the Uncanny Valley stuff. That hurt. Yeah. I saw it. They had just opened a new theater down the street from my apartment in North Hollywood. We went down there. We saw one movie that was The Hobbit, and then we moved out. We moved a week later. So that was like, you know,
why the hell did they even do that stupid frame rate thing? I'll never understand.
It was, I believe they wanted to compete with whatever the fuck had happened with Avatar a couple of years earlier. They wanted something so revolutionary that they wanted to experiment with the higher frame rate in order to like maybe give you a more visceral visual experience. But I've been saying this for a long time. Gaming, you can knock 60 frames a second, 120 frames a second, works out okay. Movies, if you go over that 24 frames a second in film, you're fucking yourself. 30 frames on home video is one thing, but it's like, if you go over 24 frames a second, you are destroying literally what everyone has spent their entire life being used to. And I'll tell you, the worst,
way too much.
The worst fucking offender is always when you would go to Best Buy or you would go to Circuit City or you'd go to Walmart or anywhere they had TVs, and they would always put the fucking refresh rate as high as they could. So when they had 120 hertz, they would be playing it at 120 hertz, and everything has this like glossy, realistic plastic look to it, and it just looked terrible. But the reason why you have that kind of refresh rate is because of sports, because that's the whole reason for it. But the problem is, most people, my cousin, fucking stupid, love him, but he's an idiot. I really do love the guy, but I'd go to his house and he would like have it on that setting, and I'm like, what are you doing? You spent like $3,000 on this TV and you have it literally in like the worst possible settings. Like, I don't see any difference. I'm like, fucking, what the fuck? How do you not see that literally looks like you're looking at a terrible like Rock'em Sock'em Robot from the 1980s? Anyway, that was my bitch about that one. I see this. Oh, there's a train there. Anyway, before we get to the rest of the negative reviews here, RPK with $10, man. Thank you so much. Says, do you think Warner Brothers and Legendary was hesitant to shoot it back to back and putting up the money before the box office returns from the first movie? Denny isn't known to make box office smashes so far. The thing is, Denny will probably never, ever, 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 ever do that. Because the thing is, the guy is literally, I would argue at this point, probably the best working filmmaker today.
No, he's exceptional. Pretty much, he's never made a bad movie, in my opinion.
No,
he's never made a bad movie.
He hasn't, but it's like, you know, people will go, oh, but like Nolan or Spielberg or, you know, like Scorsese or Snyder, depending on who you talk to. But Denny, the way he tackles his movies are like, they're methodical. They are exceptionally planned. They work very well. I would argue that in many ways, Blade Runner 2049 is better than Blade Runner. And I love Blade Runner, you know, but it's like, it felt like a more complete film. The problem is the length. This thing is rocking what, 2.5 hours, somewhere in there.
Yeah, 2 hours 35 minutes.
Yeah, so right, that's just for part one, and it's like you get to the end of that ride, and then it's snap like fucking Thanos and shit. That's the problem. Is people aren't going to want
cut to credits before you really get your resolution.
Yeah, so there's no Voltaire says he's okay but overrated. I disagree, but I can see it. I can see it. First Blade Runner had more soul. I think it was kind of the point. Rational was that because you're trying to determine whether or not Gosling is a replicant like the whole time. So he's battling with the soul. I think that's kind of a big part of it. Comicbook.com is spoiling Shang-Chi. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Anyway, let's go into this here. Okay, so you got David Katz from the Film Stage saying here that Denny has surmounted his slew of bad omens by arguably, in filmmaking terms, making the most impersonal adaptation possible. Okay, I mean,
this is I'm really noticing a lot of the top critics from the major trades are not liking this. IndieWire, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, Vanity Fair.
Oh yeah.
Who are the people liking the movie? They're more so from like what the smaller websites,
the smaller outlets. Yeah, again, it's a different audience type, but the Dune should be made for the Hollywood Reporter and Variety. Like it's literally a movie.
So it's surprising that they're not liking or giving it positive reviews.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. So David Rooney from Hollywood Reporter says here, part hero's journey and part survival story. The film keeps throwing arcane details at you, which might thrill the Herbert geeks, but will have most everyone else zoning out. I look, man, fucking lore. Dune is a dense book. Like Dune is a very dense story. I don't get that. Like I understand too much exposition, but when you're trying to like establish like, hey, listen,
a universe, a world.
Like, here's this planet. It's got spice. What does spice do? It fucking, it allows you to do intergalactic travel, and it's good for healing. Cool beans. Who oversees it? House Harkonnen. Well, they're getting fucked over. Now House Atreides is coming in. They don't like that. There's also a weird prophecy with Paul and the Freeman. Okay, cool. It's a bunch of weird shit. But it's like, and I'll tell you this, maybe this would have been, I was rewatching Avatar, and I brought this up recently. James Cameron establishes all you need to know about Avatar in the first 18 minutes of that movie.
Yeah. He gets into the Avatar thing and becomes a Na'vi really quickly in that movie when you think about it.
Yeah. So, and he does. It's 18 minutes, but by 18 minutes in, you know that Jake Sully's brother is dead. He has the right body type the right DNA and the right body to be able to go into the Avatar. You know that the military or that the company is there for unobtainium, and they hire mercs and everything else to go after the Na'vi. The Na'vi don't like them. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. And then the doctor's there to study the Na'vi, and then he's in the Na'vi and he's out.
Yeah, he's already walking around. He's already starting to establish.
Yeah. Oh, and he's a former military, which is how he got injured. So he's also going to be a security patrol to go along and protect the doctors. All right, so his motivation is there. Why the company is there? Why this happens? Why that? Okay, cool. We're done. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then
I still think unobtainium is a stupid name, though.
It's a terrible name. But here's the thing. Oh, like what? 12 years later, the scene holds up a little bit better. I think like it is a very dumb name, but it's also something you would expect a corporation to do. Like it does. They
look at something. It's like, what am I going to call this thing that we want to obtain, but we can't? Unobtainium, because why not? Someone was drunk that day.
So kind of, yeah. So anyway, I mean, but applying that same logic to Dune, in my opinion, wouldn't work out very well, because applying that same logic to Dune is a problem because Dune is so dense. You have to explain these characters.
Plus, it's a very popular book that has a lot of legacy and a lot of diehard fans connected to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, here's the thing with that though. Do you want a proper adaptation, or do you want money? And this is where they're torn at this point. So I don't quite know necessarily, but let's see. Okay, hold on. Owen Gleiberman here says it's not the story. It's just not just that the story loses its pulse. It loses any sense of what we're emotionally invested into. And I'll say to this though, look, that to me seems like a dig at Timothée Chalamet. And that was my criticism when I saw the first trailer. I'm like, he doesn't.
Could you elaborate on that? Because I'm curious why you think that. Because I'm wondering where the Chalamet thing comes from.
I don't think he's that gifted of an actor.
Really? That's a
I
hot
don't.
take.
That's a very hot take. It's not that he's bad. It's just nothing I have seen him in has really kind of gone, oh, okay. He kind of has the same, like the same kind of look every time I see him, right? He's kind of like Zoolander has like the one look that everyone knows him for, and he's trying to do Blue Steel or Blue Magnum, you know, and like that's his new look, but everyone just wants the old look. Like that's kind of how I view Timothée Chalamet. And it's not that he's a bad actor. It's just that the guy's like everything I've seen, which arguably hasn't been much. It never really connected with me. And it always comes across like he's very emotionless. And I know maybe the character of Paul Atreides is meant to be like that. But that, again, if you're losing your emotional investment into something here, that would indicate that there is that the chemistry between the main actors is not all the way there. And that could be because, you know, like when he gets to Dune and he meets Zendaya's character.
Yeah, Chani,
then that could end up being when, like, you know, you start seeing some of that connection because they're having dreams.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the point, though, right? He becomes there's more emotional attachment to her as the book goes on, I believe. So,
yeah. But even here's the thing too with Richard Lawson. It says in all its marvel, Dune forgets to do the basic things like give us something or someone or something to root for or feel for or think about it for longer than the stretch of the film. And that's a problem of something like this being so dense.
Yeah. No, I mean, here's the thing. Like, Dune is a very confusing, odd, very elaborate book and story. It's not going to be for everyone. I mean, the other top critics are very positive as well. But, it's just, again, it was never going to be a slam dunk with everybody. It wasn't going to be like this universally acclaimed film. I mean, it's going to be probably divisive by some people, but if the majority are enjoying it and like it, then, we'll see.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good. I think it could definitely not be a perfect adaptation, but a very solid one, probably better than probably the best version we've gotten of the story to date. It's still going to be flawed, but I'm looking forward to watching it. I think it looks like a good movie.
No, I don't.
It's a hard book to adapt. It's a very hard book to adapt. It's a very hard story. So I don't envy them, and I think they're going to do the best job they can.
But here's the thing: not everything is adaptable.
That's true.
Not everything is. And sometimes the subtext and nuance from the writer and what they put into the characters. I mean, look at like Starship Troopers. Heinlein's novel is not what we got.
No, not even
to the
close.
But to the public consciousness, Heinlein's novel, that doesn't matter. The public consciousness wants hardcore Marines grunting while they're killing bugs.
Well, yeah. Well, I would argue the first Starship Troopers is even more than that. It's more so a commentary on militarization propaganda.
Yes. I mean, that's Paul Verhoeven. I mean, that's like, go back, watch fucking RoboCop.
It's a social satire.
Yeah. I'm a big Verhoeven fan. So, but I mean, look at this here. Okay. So, all right.
And I don't know Peach Mango Pie, because going back to the One Piece thing about things being unadaptable, I don't know if One Piece is adaptable into live action.
I mean, there's like someone sent me some gifs of some of the girls in the show, and it's like, you think Faye's argument's gonna be bad? I'm like,
well, listen, the creator Eiichiro Oda, he knows what he likes. He likes drawing things that are visually appealing to him and other people. So
Okay, well, I mean, looking here, you've got Jermaine Lucier, who does get around, saying that Dune is awesome in every sense of the word, and it'll be movie fans cherish for years to come.
Entertainment Weekly. That's a surprise they were positive review, because typically they're very negative all the time. So.
Yeah, but it's Lee Greenblatt. It's not the guy who went after The Witcher.
That's true.
And that guy, fuck that guy. But he says here, if you're already knee deep in Herbert mythology, you'll thrill to every whispered word. If you come in not knowing the difference between a Holtzman shield and a hole in the floor, it's a longer walk. This is why I'll say this now. This is exactly why when I talk about how comic book fans have to come on in and like get, basically be the ambassadors for these projects. This is why, because fans got to come in and go like, all right, here's the base story. Here's the cool shit. Here's what you're probably going to see. And then let's go. And then the idea there is like, you gotta look, Hollywood needs to have more brand ambassadors that like kind of like help teach hype men for these projects. And I know people might go, but that's shilly. You don't need to be shilly, Matt. But it's good. It's good marketing. Because if people this is such a dense story. It's a very, very in-depth story. It's hard to adapt. And so you got to have people go on in. It's like, okay, here's the thing. You saw the theatrical cut of BVS, right?
Yes.
Okay. It was terrible. because it was
Yeah,
disjointed.
it was a bad movie. It's a bad movie.
Do you think that if you would have gone in knowing every single spoiler, knowing what to expect, that it would have been a better experience overall? Not great, but better.
The spoilers for the theatrical, or like understanding the spoilers for the ultimate?
The spoilers for the theatrical, because we hadn't seen anything with the ultimate yet when the movie came out.
I think it would have softened the blow. You know, I would have.
That's what I'm talking about.
So.
Because everything in theatrics, everything in a movie is all about the fucking experience. That's really what it boils down to here. People love Avatar because of the experience. You might not remember a lot of the plot details, but you start watching it again, and guess what? You know what you're thinking about? The first time you saw that movie in IMAX or 3D IMAX, or the first time you saw it and you went to Pandora and how it made you feel. That is the longevity of a movie like Avatar. Dune has got an uphill battle on that shit. But again, it's like people have got to start telling other people about this. Like word of mouth has to start building now for like, get that book out there. Let people know about it. Do a Cliff Notes version. Put that shit on fucking TikTok.
Yeah. Get the TikTok crowd to like break down Dune. Like why the hell aren't they talking to TikTok influencers?
Dude, you can totally do that. Be like, all right, let me tell the story of Paul Atreides, right? So this motherfucker's out there. He's a prince. He's a good prince, but he doesn't really want to do what his dad does. But his dad's like, yo, son, you got to be like me. So you got to go to this fucking planet. These dreams, man. He's got these dreams of this chick. She's got blue eyes and shit. Maybe got blue pussy. I don't know. Got to watch the X-rated cut movie.
She looks like Zendaya.
Yeah, she looks like Zendaya. Go watch her ass get eaten in that fucking Netflix movie. But anyway, man. So then they got to go to this planet. The planet got Dune. It's got spice. Spice is like the spice of life, man. It's like time travel, healing and shit. But it's protected by big ass worms. Yeah, I'm talking big ass worms, man. You get in there, and then like they got to like there's a prophecy like Harry Potter and shit, but like way less gay. And then like they. And like, I'm just saying,
not the kind of worms that your dog gets.
Yeah, not the kind of worms that you would down in a shot down at down in TJ. Like you just do all the shit, and like you pimp out the movie in a way that's like people go, oh, that sounds like fun.
You got to pimp it out in a way that the normies can be invested. Like, oh, this actually sounds interesting. You know what they should do? Even though it's really not like this, they should really start pimping it more like Game of Thrones the movie. You got the different houses and stuff and the rivalries between people. I mean, it's not exactly that. It's not anywhere close to Game of Thrones, but just something. Attach it to something to get normies invested,
Yeah. No, I get you. It's like something along those lines. It's going to be very difficult to sell it.
I mean, I will say, like, when they show the trailers, people, like, they showed the Dune trailer in IMAX tonight during Shang-Chi. It's like, people are interested. I think mostly because they really like actors like Zendaya and the cast, really. There are some of the older crowd that knows Dune as a franchise because of the old movies and the books, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I don't know if it's going to do necessarily well at the box office. I think it could be a big streaming hit, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm excited. I'm going to go see it.
It's one of my most anticipated movies for the rest of the year. I'm really looking forward to it.
And No Time to Die are my IMAX movies this year. Maybe Spider-Man No Way Home, depending. But then again, it's like Shang-Chi, I didn't feel needed to be in IMAX, but that's just my take on it. And so there's definitely that. But I mean, look, it's going to be a lot of fun regardless here. But we're going to have to talk about it. Everyone's going to be talking about it. And hopefully word of mouth.
I know. I'm going to start reading the book this weekend. So
I'm just going to say, this is a hot take. I'm just going to say it. I feel it's going to work. Spoil Dune for yourself if you don't know the fucking story. Spoil it. Go in. I know people.
Well, the people behind the movie are already doing that. They were talking about the sequel, spoiling stuff about the movie already, talking about what the sequel is going to be.
I think you have to.
Well, they're already letting you know stuff that's happening in the first movie. They're setting up the expectations of what the second movie is going to be already.
Well, the fact that Denis is like, we haven't even like written the script yet for number 2. I'm like, that's a lie. Like you wouldn't have written the first script and like not already really outlined or written the second script.
Yeah, they got to have an outline.
I don't get that.
I do agree with you, though. They should have shot at least the first 2 movies back to back. They really should have.
Yeah,
especially if the first movie ends in a way where it's like a cliffhanger, but it's like stuff doesn't get resolved. Like it's basically like the whole first movie's predicated on the fact that they make a sequel. They should have shot them both that back to back and have one come out this year, another one come out next year. I'm
telling you this right now. Here's my prediction on that one. If the movie gets a sequel, you know where they're going to shoot it? The volume. They're going to shoot it they're going to probably shoot it in the volume to save costs. They could do a lot of it in the volume. I mean, looking at just the backgrounds of like the sets and stuff. I know Denny probably doesn't want to shoot on the volume, but it's new tech with the right cinematographer. You can make it look flawless. I mean, Mando made it look really flawless. You know,
it's like a gold standard for visual effects in some cases.
I mean, the thing is, if you look at the upgrade even from the visuals from Mando season 1 to Mando season 2, is they use almost realistic natural lighting in Mando season 1, which may not have been the best in regards to like for TVs, especially in 4K. Some 4K TVs can't handle that kind of UHD. It's very weird. My TLC is like that, but my Samsung can handle it 100%. But the thing is, so it's like, but then in season 2, they shot it a little differently, and they were able to then get a lot more lighting. Still looked natural, but it appeared to be a little bit brighter and a little bit fuller. So you can, so the more you get into it, and it's like even the Batman has shot on that. And Thor Love and Thunder filmed on it quite a bit. So there's Cassian Andor, I think, did it as well. Obi-Wan did it as well. So they're using it and they're making it bigger and bolder and crazier. So eventually, Denny can go in there and they can do it. They could probably shoot the goddamn thing, I mean, super quick, and then just go right into post-production, and get all that done. And it's just going to save so much money. And that's going to be the whole point. So, but it might look stylistically different just because of the limitations of technology. But again, like Legendary's in the process right now, man. This is the other part of that too, is there's been the reports that Wanda Group is looking to sell off Legendary. They bought them like in 2016, 2017.
Yeah. And how's that going to affect the Dune sequels then? That's what I'm wondering too, because
are they going to want to put in the money for that shit? Like that's the whole point.
Let's say they make a sequel to the Dune movie that comes out next month. Is it going to be distributed by another company? Can they even make a direct sequel to it?
No, they would because they have the Legendary might have the rights to the book, but Warner's is still the distributor, and Warner's put up some of the money. The contracts are going to be fine. Like they would still be okay if Legendary sells to a different company that. Unless it's like a different like production company, like let's say like Disney comes in and buys Legendary or some shit, then you're going to be looking at a different situation. It's a whole rights issue at that point. If it just goes to another massive like Chinese conglomerate like Tencent, ain't no one going to fucking care. And that's honestly probably what I see happening is Tencent coming out and buying that because that's what the fuck Tencent does. Right. They buy shit and they ruin shit, but that's just China in a nutshell. But anyway, here, I know I'm looking forward to it. There's a couple super chats to get to here. Real Elmo here. Thank you, man. It says H Barts always says, if you want to take someone, somewhere ghetto, take them to Denny's. What do you think about that? I don't know, man. Smothered cheese fries.
I love Denny's, dude.
Yeah.
The Denny's breakfast meals, get those hash browns, pancakes, and eggs, man.
I delivered from Denny's tonight, man. My car smelled like fucking Grand Slam breakfast. I was like, I go back. But my fat ass is trying not to eat after 5, so it's difficult. It's very difficult when you get like very nice smelling hash browns and pancakes and sausage and shit. Makes my car smell good. So yeah, no. If you want to take someone somewhere ghetto, like Jack in the Box or Carl's Jr. or some shit, you don't sit there at Denny's.
No, if you want to take someone somewhere ghetto, Matt, you take them to Arby's.
No, whoa, no. Arby's is legit. All right.
I like Arby's, but the reputation of Arby's has taken a nosedive.
It has 100%, but it still ain't as bad as fucking Chick-fil-A. The food is great, but the shame you feel walking in, that's where
the food's so good and the service is so nice.
The service is very nice. I fully agree with that. The service is very nice. All right, real quick here. William says, sorry, buddy, I missed this. Says, this is why streaming is important. It bypasses critics before they can sync a film. That is true.
How much does it bypass them though?
Well, I mean, because the thing is like this. So what you're asking, so let's say, for example, everyone comes out and they're just like, Dune sucks. Let's just say that as an example, right? But it's coming to HBO Max. So your average person who's like, I have HBO Max. I want to kind of see Dune. The reviews aren't that great on it. I can watch it at home. So here's the thing with that is the expectation is much lower. Like what you are being expected to do. Like, so if you're going to go to the movie, you got to put your clothes on, right? You got to get in the car, go to the theater, buy tickets, choose your seat, fear about COVID a little bit, go and overpay for snacks, sit down, watch the movie. It's a process. It is a massive process.
It's a commitment. Yeah.
It's a commitment. You gotta get in there and you gotta do it. Whereas you're just like, yo, you want to watch a movie? Like, all right, what do you want to watch? You want to watch Dune? Yeah, let's watch Dune. All right, cool. Fuck, it's 2.5 hours. Let's get through half of it tonight. We'll go Netflix and chill for a while. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll finish it. Then you have that option. It's less of a commitment and you can get to it when you want to get to it, if you want to get to it. So that's kind of the whole point, is like streaming, but you're still paying the money. You know what I mean? Like if you go to the theater and you drop like $40 on tickets, you know, like 30.
I hope you cut out again. Jesus. Well, while we wait for Matt to get back, I would just say to just the chat. No, I'm not saying that Arby's is ghetto. I'm just saying that it's perceived as ghetto because of its bad reputation. I actually do enjoy Arby's from time to time. I know HWAD loves Arby's as well.
You effectively said it was ghetto.
I kind of did. I didn't mean to, but I just meant to. Like what I'm trying to say is like
you're all like, no, they're not onion rings or onion bracelets.
Jesus Christ.
We're gonna start calling you. We're gonna start calling you Bird Roddick.
Oh God, no, please don't. No, I'm just saying that the reputation of Arby's is like why people like. Let's say if you're going on like a date with somebody, you don't go like. She's like, I want to go to a fast food place. You don't typically pick Arby's because the reputation's bad. You know, it's no fault of Arby's, it's just the way it is. You know. Yeah.
Hold on. Preview night numbers. What did Black Widow pull in? 13.2.
Yeah.
Well, okay, what I'm talking about though, because Sir Philip here says like Shang-Chi dominates with 8.8. Like, dude, he's dominating on Labor Day weekend. People are saying it's gonna flop. Like, read between the lines.
Yeah, they just like people were saying it was gonna open under 50. It's gonna be the lowest MCU opening ever. It's going to be 60 plus. It's gonna be, it's not gonna be the lowest. So. And for, again, Labor Day weekend during a pandemic, it's pretty damn good. Even outside of the pandemic, it's great for Labor Day weekend. So
yeah, it is def going to be good for that one. And I hope people go and see it a couple times. I really am excited to see what's going to be happening with it. I want to get more. I want to know where the story goes. I'm very invested at this point with Shang-Chi, where the story goes, because I really liked it. I thought that it was, I just thought it was kind of crazy, like you had, the joke I wanted to make I don't want to say it because I don't want to spoil it, but like I'll tell you afterward.
Yeah. Cause I missed the Raya and the Last Dragon reference. I'll tell
you the Raya reference too, as we get closer. Benson here says, morning guys, Matt, I can't stop laughing at your Campea retirement post on Instagram. We played the full clip at the beginning of it, so if you go back to the beginning, you can get the full clip of everything. But yeah, it's definitely like Campea, his time is done. I know he just bought a house and homie's got a mortgage. I have a mortgage. I completely understand, but you know what? Maybe take a break.
Maybe Campea needs to go back to the classroom himself. He always keeps saying, let's take a trip into the Campea classroom. Maybe he needs to go back to class.
I think Campea needs to go back to Collider. Is what I think needs to happen.
No, nobody needs to go back to Collider.
I think Campea needs to go back.
He should start his own website.
He's got the JohnCampeaShow.com.
Well, I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like a Collider rival. Same idea, but different website, different organization.
Yeah, guys, at this point, it's so hard to like really kind of make one of those things work. Like for example, like I own 3bucktheater.com. Like I'll bring it up here. I haven't like gone to the website in like I don't even know what the last thing here. Oh my God. So this is how old. I haven't touched this in a while, but I'm spending like $200-$300 a year on everything, on trying to do it. Right. So this is my, the website here, and it's just like, I need to go, it's like, there's nothing really here. I was like working on, this is from October. I haven't touched it in like almost 2 years. Jesus.
Look at that reaction to Birds of Prey.
I still did not like that movie.
Yeah, well, what's the title of the Birds of Prey trailer? Doesn't know what it wants to be.
Mm-hmm. I stand by that.
Can JJ use Palpatine to repair Star Wars? No, he could not.
He could not. This is before Rise of Skywalker, so I have some hot takes in there, I think. Spider-Man 3 plot leak. Ooh, what's the plot leak here? Oh, okay. Let's see what Mikey said about the plot leak. Let's see. Did I say anything here? I mean, I gotta watch. Jesus. Let's see. That was my old one.
Oh, Spider-Man 3 plot to focus on Craven and Chameleon?
This is what he was saying back then, yeah. So let's see here. Okay. Chameleon. I wonder if Mikey's still here. That'd be pretty funny.
Hey, stuff changes, man. We didn't even know the multiverse was going to be a thing back then.
Oh yeah, I think this is the one he gave me. Like this is like the scoop Jamie gave me or whatever. But yeah, this is an old one. This is an old one. But I mean, like I need to what I need to do is I need to start posting the I need to like pay someone to actually like update this website. Oh wait, hold on. RT Snyder Cut. Right, I talked with one of the guys behind the Snyder Cut thing.
Okay.
Oh yeah, why support make Solo 2 happen a whole year after the release of Solo?
But Matt, Solo lost money. Hashtag.
I forgot I watched Loquisha.
I still maintain the fact that the movie should have ended like a Twilight Zone episode where he actually becomes a black woman.
That would, well, yeah, he kind of half does, but like, I mean, the movie's not as bad as you think. I got a lot of shit for this though. I got a lot of shit for everything. And then yeah, my attempt at Blu-ray. God damn, this is old. But the whole point of doing the website is to just get like it done into movie Punisher done right. What am I, a smug asshole?
Joker is dying at the tomato meter.
Yeah, well, it was.
Was it though? Was it?
Yeah, it did. It did, man. It did.
Movie Punisher done right.
Yeah, I know. Fucking, I'm an idiot. I was like, I don't know. I mean, I need to work on it more. All right, here, Irrational here with $5 man. Thank you. Says critics hated Venom because it wasn't in the MCU. I promise you that if the MCU intro showed up in film reviews, it would have been higher. That is pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to admit, probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah. Rough Collies here asks, which voice is easier for you to do, Elmo or Jar Jar? I was actually doing Elmo yesterday because I found an Elmo doll at the store. Hold on. I gotta wet my whistle. I mean, it's easy to do. Like it's oh fuck. Misa Jar Jar Binks. My voice is still kind of fucked. But Elmo's like, I'm Elmo. I'm okay. I'm Elmo. I can't fuck. And now that I'm on the spot, I can think of it. But like, I was like, I'm Elmo. Hi everybody, how's it going? Can I give you a hand job? Hand job.
Yeah, still does the best Elmo.
He does a good Elmo. He does a good Macho Man. I was doing it in the store. It was okay. I have to listen to it a couple more times to like, hi, I'm Elmo. It's kind of weird. I try to do Meatwad every once in a while from Aqua Teen. Like, wow, what's going on, everyone? How's it going? That's not the best. It's been a while. I'm not the best.
Can you towel-y?
Don't forget to bring your towel.
There you go.
That's a good one. My Watto, I think, is pretty good. It's very. You got to really drop that N, right? I mean, not in the other way, but like in the way for this,
That's getting flipped.
That's, what else?
Jarbo back at it again.
He said it again.
This motherfucker. Got
mother son of a bitch must pay. It's hard. Like some voices are difficult. I'm not the best at them. Like I really want to get my accents. I really want to get into like, I would love to be able to speak fluently with an English or Australian accent. I like Scottish too. Cause that's always difficult, but it's like, oh, hold up there, wee laddie. Welcome to the party, pal. Or if you want to get into doing Irish, my friends and I always joked about like, oh, potato. No, Guinness. No, hold on. Potato, Guinness, potato. There we go. Kind of get your voice into it a little bit, It's not that bad. It's like, it's just a different dialect in how you do it. The Australian is probably my personal favorite. I've been watching a lot of Bluey. So like my daughter is like picking up on like little things, but that's so much better than like Peppa Pig.
I was about to say, so is your daughter going to start talking like an Aussie?
No, because
That's what's been happening with some kids with Peppa Pig. They're watching someone's Peppa Pig.
I
They're
think that's
developing
why.
accents.
Yeah, I think that's why my sister won't allow my nephew to watch Bluey anymore. He's like 5. And because she said like something around the lines of like, oh, he picked up something from it. That's annoying. And I'm like, tickle crabs? Because like that's a game they play. Like, I don't know. There's a lot that my daughter fucking loves Bluey. She's out there like mimicking Bluey all the time. She calls our younger daughter. She calls her sister. She calls her Bingo, the younger sister in the show. She's like, I'm Bluey, and that's Bingo. And I'm like, well, then who am I? She's all like, you're Daddy. I'm like, you damn right. Yeah. And then, but then, because the way the show is structured is that the dad and the kids have a very active relationship, a very active thing. And so my daughter like mimics that. So it's a lot of, like yesterday we went to the park and there were these 2 dogs that came, the park is in like it's in a neighborhood, private neighborhood. And so a couple dogs came running down and my daughter was like really wanting to play with them. So she's like, here, puppy, here, puppy, here, puppy. She gets a stick and she throws it and they kind of grab it and they take off and whatever. And she felt really bad because she's wanting to play with these dogs. So I'm trying to trying to cheer her up a little bit. I'm like, hey, throw the stick. So she throws it. And then I start like acting like a dog. I'm like, arf, 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 and I run over and I get it and I bring it back and I start shaking my butt like I'm wagging my tail. Just to make her laugh, just to kind of make her feel like she's being engaged with, and like that's the kind of stuff that you would see on Bluey, but that's also the kind of stuff you want to do for your kid.
Yeah.
So it's just there's all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I know off topic thing. HBart's here with $2, man. Says, hey Matt, how are you? Shang-Chi was the shit. I'm good, man. And yes, it is. Thank you for that. All right. And then, command unit, man, we're not going to get to that tonight. We'll get to that on Monday. I want to wrap it up. So, but I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
We'll put a pin in it and say
yeah. I'll take a screenshot so I can remember what it is. Take a look at that later on, man. It's at the end of the night. So I just kind of want to,
it's almost 3 a.m. for me. I'm like, fading.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, thank you all very much for hanging out. This is
cut out again. God damn it. Right at the end. Elmo and HBarts. Anybody ever watch Elmo and Grouchland? What do you guys think of that movie? Let me know. It's actually something I used to watch all the time as a kid. Elmo and Grouchland.
You're so young. You are so young.
I know.
It's so young, RJ. It's like you were watching like that. I'm all like, dude, and you said that I was like 20. So it's all like, oh, where were you back in the day? Watching like fucking I don't know, man. There's so much. Like, did you watch the Rainbow Bright animated show? No,
back in my day, I watched Elmo and Grouchland.
Dude, the first time I said that unironically, I went, fuck. I was talking with a guy I worked with, and I'm like, when I was your age, fuck. How does this happen?
Like those, what are they? The Geico commercials where it's like you becoming your parents?
Yeah. At this point, I have like more gray on my head than like my dad does, and he's like 64. So it's like, yeah, it's but my grandfather was like, that's where I get my gray from. I'm like, I don't want to like dye my beard because I feel like that's an admission of defeat.
Mm-hmm. Plus, it doesn't always look right either.
It doesn't always look like, but I have like that really silver patch, like right under my chin. And it just looks like the weirdest patch because it's so out of place, but I can't shave it because then it would just look like I have like no chin. So it's such a weird thing. I hate it. Let's see. Anyway, no, command unit. Yeah, we're gonna go, buddy. I appreciate that, man. But we'll get to it on Monday because I'm gonna take off Sunday night because it's a holiday, so I'll be with my family. But all right, everyone, thank you all so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Be sure to check out RJ's channel, which I know was linked in the chat earlier, and go check out his review of Shang-Chi. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good and safe holiday. Thank you again for being here. Love you lots.